Good afternoon, everyone, and for the final time on a Monday night, well, for the season 5, anyway, or season 3, I should say, we are going to be live for the ALR Silver Grand Prix. It is round 22 out of 22. We're here in we're here in the United Arab Emirates, aren't we? Or is it Abu Dhabi? I don't know. My geography is appalling. What I do know is that we are here in Yas Island, and 21 turns around this circuit, and it's a modern-day fiesta, isn't it, in terms of the track. It's absolutely incredible. The facility here is magnificent. It's second to none in the whole of the world. Then, of course, it is 2009 that it was first introduced back on the Formula 1 calendar. Goodness gracious me, that feels like a long time ago now. I think it was Sebastian Vettel that won the first ever Grand Prix, wasn't it? This is the third Grand Prix in Silver's history around here. Glock, of course, won the first ever Grand Prix around here. No, wasn't it? It was Alhan that won the first ever Grand Prix around here. And Itchy, who won his first and only Grand Prix in his ALR career, and I think that was his last silver race as well. He won it here last season. So we are guaranteed to have a new Grand Prix winner tonight in silver. Who's never won on this circuit before that, but who will that be? Well, we'll find out. But before we do so, let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we, for one more time. Then 21 races have gone. One more race to go. 22. And the finale. So I remember this time last season in silver, it was raining. My goodness me. I didn't even prepare to talk about rain last season. Have I this season? Nope, because I don't learn my lesson. But I don't expect it to rain here tonight then. But it probably will rain in either bronze or cobalt, won't it? Especially cobalt. They seem to have a lot of the bad weather, don't they? But let's carry on. But let's find out, shall we? Whilst the session is counted down, let's go for the drivers and the constructors stand-ins. We have got Troy, of course. He's the world champion of silver, isn't he? So he's also been confirmed to be going through, isn't he? And Nigel, going through to gold then. Nigel and Gamer are also now confirmed to be going up to gold as well. So good stuff indeed there for Nigel and for Gamer. Great stuff indeed. Then unfortunately, Gamer's not racing tonight, which is such a shame, isn't it? Really, he had a great start to the season. He's been a bit, he's really been very unlucky. Actually, last season he was very good here, wasn't he? But unfortunately, the rain came and really hurt Gamer's chance of winning his second Grand Prix of his career, didn't he? Unfortunately, Serious Mushroom in 5th position, and Gordo in 6th, and 7th position is Wilson. He's gone up 1 position, and BP jumped down into 8th. And 9th is Curly Red. That he's up 3 positions after a strong performance in Brazil. Then, and he could have and should have won that Grand Prix. Well, he should have won him. He should have won really then. But he was a bit unlucky, would say. 10th position is Welsh Maranado. She remains in the same position as where she was at the race before. Removers and TK is dropped down 2 positions. Farfus dropped down a position as well in that racing point. Slayer moved up into 15th position then, and Young Tommy has also moved up into a 16th as well. The relegation battle is still very much on. It's still very much on a lot of people's agendas, and Bullet can still make it through can still remain in silver. So could Baz, and no, Baz can't because he's not in the race set, and Ayrton potentially can as well, as Ayrton is going to be feeling extremely nervous tonight. Steve has returned back to action as well in his Red Bull car. Can he get out of that relegation? Scrapnum is between him and Ayrton. Is a straight fight, I would say. Then Young Tommy and Slayer can still potentially get relegated as well, can't they? But I've got to say that it's going to be I'll be surprised if any of those two get relegated, but of course I hope that in the commentator's curse, is it? In the constructors standings then, as we got yellow flags already. One of the Red Bulls is having some major issues. Wilson has been disqualified for blocking the pit lane, and I'm not sure how that has happened, but Wilson is out of qualifying already in this Grand Prix. Action already. We haven't even got anyone out on the track yet. And Wilson, I can't believe it. We just we see the yellow flag in the tunnel, the pit lane, the pit exit, and unfortunately that is completely ruined Wilson's chance this season. I said, what is going on there for Wilson tonight? Absolutely, he's going to be furious at that then, as I think that might be a Codemasters issue rather than a Wilson problem, I would say. I would hazard a guess that we haven't had many incidents down that tunnel, have we? But not as many as I would expect, really, when they first introduced this. I'm sure I was on board with a Mercedes then, but I am back on board with Mercedes now. It says Cody erotic then, or exotic, erotic, exotic. Goodness gracious me, exotic, I should say. Oh my word. But yeah, unfortunately, Wilson's out of qualifying there. He's going to be absolutely furious, isn't he? And he's already just commented on it's a stupid game, and we don't have many incidents in the tunnel coming out of the pit accident. But Wilson, unfortunately, is out of qualifying. What a shame. He's going to start in his final Grand Prix of the season then in silver at the back of the field. Then that is such a shame. So Wilson, he spun coming out of the pits, forgot to turn traction control off, and puts the car in the middle of the circuit and disqualifies me instantly then. So Wilson is going to be very unhappy for that, as Cody is coming back into the pits now then. So Cody, they're just trying out the car perhaps then as well. See them making a return. He hasn't raced in the full race, does he? So Steve is back in action as well. We've got a couple of debutants here tonight, haven't we? We got Buck Assen, who is in the AlphaTauri, and of course that means the Baz has been officially relegated from ALR Silver, unfortunately. We have also got, I think, Farham. This is his first race in silver, I'm not very much mistaken. I'll get my old stack book out in a minute. We also have got Cody. We've also got Cody as well then, who Exotic then in also who we've seen him come in and come out and come back in the pit lane, haven't we? Let's go for the comment, shall we? We got Gordo saying hello. We got Young Tommy, evening. Becca, evening as well. Then we've also got Ayrton saying hello. Hopefully it'll be a good last race for me in silver this season, with those big eyes there bulging there, looking to the left fan. I love that emoji, by the way. It's fantastic. Buck Assen coming down Buck Assen coming down the back straight, and there's two DRS zones around here. We'll talk about that in a minute. Slayer saying, yo, everyone. Good luck, or I'm aiming to survive this race, said Wilson, saying evening. Unfortunately, I think Wilson said that just before he got disqualified there. There's a Murphy, I think, has struggled to get out of the pits as well. He is out of qualifying, so we've lost two already in this qualifying session. We've also got Dylan, who's also giving us an evening as well. Pillar saying good evening, and good evening chat, and Sean then Ayrton to save his bacon tonight. Watch this space, said, oh goodness me. We've also got Gordo saying Miss Gold yesterday, was watching the GP, was watching the GP on it recording. Brilliant to get Baku, Baku to Azerbaijan then. Young Tommy has gone, what then? As I think he's just referring to the issues that Wilson have had in the tunnel, unfortunately, and that's such a shame, isn't it? We'll go back to the constructors in a minute then, but before we do so, the action's already started here, and I haven't even had time to get myself in order here tonight, my word. Bucka said coming through the final turn, and this is debut tonight in silver. Let's see what his Toro Rosso could do. AlphaTauri, I should say. I've been saying it for 2 seasons, I still can't get it right. AlphaTauri has put himself on a 36-1 there on his debut start then. Not bad start then. What about his teammate Ayrton? Ayrton's abandoned his and come back into pits, and he's still got the Brazilian helmet colours which he used in Brazil a couple of a week ago, didn't he? So hopefully that will be able to spur him on. Then here's Steven, who's coming into the final part of the lap as well in his Red Bull car 45. Fred, Steve has had a very good record, hasn't he, in other formulas? But unfortunately, in the ALR Silver, he hasn't really lived up to the billing, has he? Steve has it, but he is 2 seconds in front of Buck Hazard, man. That's a very good time to start us off. Goodness gracious me, then. My goodness me, he's trying to make up for lost time, Steve, isn't he? Marnodo's invalidated her time, but do not worry about that, Marnodo fans, that she can go around again. Just watching, we're watching Gordo. We've also got another Haas out there. It's Pyro also making his debut as well. Welcome, Pyro, as he is down the back straight. So a good stuff indeed. And we're going to be on board Pyro's teammate, which is Gordo, of course. Unfortunately, that means the Billets also officially been relegated as well. So one more relegation spot. Who's going to be drawing in bronze for next season? Is it going to be Steve? Is it going to be Ayrton? Is it going to be Sarah? Is it going to be Young Tommy then? Those are the 4 drivers that we're going to be keeping an eye out for tonight then. And is a Gordo is coming out of that pesky turn at 19 now. That could be very costly indeed. And it was almost costly for the Haas team last season, was that, of course, when Gurman crashed on the wet race, didn't it? Goodness gracious me. Then Gordo comes across the line. He is second fastest and 4 tenths of a second away. And away from Steve, setting the pace so far on board Pyro now, as he is into turn 20 and 21. He's abandoned his time, Pyro has, and come back into the pits. And similar thing there to Cody earlier on then as well. Troy has invalidated his time. Let's go for the constructors, shall we? Renault, of course, already the constructors world champions. They have been, got to say, they've been heads. They have very much been absolute above the rest of the field, haven't they, this season, in a gold and silver as well. Lovely helmet from Maldonado, by the way. That's a fantastic helmet. I'm loving that. I hope those scrapes out because she's fallen off her bike or something. But goodness me, that's a cracking helmet. Isn't it? I love that. That's a great helmet indeed. Anyway, what could she do? Oh, Golden Speed and she's getting a bit squirrely on the old rear end there of that Renault. But out of the final turn, Maldonado goes into second fastest, a 0.2 of a second away from Steve, who is still the benchmark at the moment. I got to say, I might win. That's my favourite helmet I've seen so far. Fantastic. Here comes Cody then, who is coming into underneath the hotel as well. Let me carry on with the Constructors. Mercedes are second, and they are almost confirmed second in the Constructors Championship, but Ferrari need to outscore Mercedes by 9 points again, a 1-2 basically. Williams in fourth position, and they are very much, they can't get any harder than fourth then, as Cody goes across the line. He is fifth fast at the moment, a couple of tenths away. Bradfield is out on the circle as well. I think Bradfield, is safe according to me, a very precarious mass here. Here comes Troy, who is a lovely slipstream there from his teammate, going down into the chicane and to break up those long straight. Williams are currently 6 points. Williams are currently 6 points in front of the Alfa Romeo team. Racing Point are 6, Haas are 7th. 8th position is the Red Bull team. 9th is McLaren. Alpha Tauri is 10th position. And high five to myself. I finally got through the Constructors. So it'll take me 10 minutes to do it. Back to the comments, shall we? Where was I? We got Gordo saying, "Oh yeah, you missed the race." Yes, I did. And Nigel saying, "Last night in Silver, thanks everyone in Silver for some awesome races." Indeed, then yes, indeed, then. And I'm looking forward to Nigel back in gold. Then it just it feels right. It feels right on Nigel back in gold, doesn't it? Looking forward to that as well. We've got a couple of champions in gold next season. Oh, goodness me, they're filling up quite fast at the end of gold. Of course, we have Gurman, we have Troy, we have Nigel, we have Emerson as well. My grief, and that's fantastic, isn't it? Here comes Troy out of the final turn. Then, and Troy goes fast there on a 34 flat then to start us off, and Troy then, who's aiming to break a record tonight. Then I'll bring up that record in just a jiffy. I don't mean the old very big CDs that used to be sold in the 80s and early 90s, and I do mean a record in terms of paper. We got someone just crossed the line there. Bradfield's just gone fifth fast man, and Ayrton out on the circuit as well. Here comes Bradfield's teammate, which is Curly as well, then wrestling that car of the McLaren is he. Then Curly has had yellow flags is fluttering us behind us here, as one of the Ferraris has had some issues there. What about Curly then into the final part of the lap as well, out of the turn 21 now, right underneath the dip. Curly goes fast as there by a thousandth of a second. Oh my word, what a final end to qualifying this could be potentially. I'm loving this. I've gelled my hair today, and I got to say, I wish I washed it out because it's really hurting my head at the moment. As I've got my big headphones on here at the moment, I got to say, I do look very professional at the moment. And Ayrton coming down the back straight, so I'll carry on with the result. Carry on with the stream comment, shall we? Service Russia and Records. It's going to be dry, wet snow. Oh my word! As Pillars has said, keep it PG. My word. Then I was absolutely appalling earlier on, wasn't I? As I called Cody exotic something else there. So apologies there to Cody. Is Cody exotic then, and indeed that as of course I need to get my mind out of the gutter. Ayrton then, who is coming under the hotel section as well, was saying I was practicing with traction control off, forgot to pull it back onto medium then, but sorry, I think I read that the wrong way around as well. Apologies, Wilson, but and that is not good, is it? Out of the final turn then, and Ayrton goes at 7 fast at the moment, and that's a good bank. And then Farham is out on circuit as well. We've got young Tommy coming down the back straight, and I think Serious Mushrooms just asked, why is young Tommy out? I don't think he's out, is he? But I think he's in 13th position. I know we got old Nigel here as well in the Ferrari. It's his last race here in Silver's Ride. He's already won a Grand Prix tonight this season, hasn't he, Nigel? Can he win the second one here tonight for the Ferrari team? That'd be good, wouldn't it? And here comes his teammate FIFA Beefy. As Serious Mushroom is saying, I wish I'd read the comments. It should go down more, shouldn't I? It says on the Serious Mushroom's time screen, says Beefy goes 7 fast, is just a fraction in front of Ayrton at the moment. Yeah, I was just in Cody just jump up in the air, and that's great stuff indeed. Then very much Tony Hawk's kind of stuff. But a bit of a kickflip is that what the skaters call it? I'm not too sure, to be honest. Is it really? I was rubbish at the Tony Hawk's games. I think my favourite was Tony Hawk's 3, where you can go on the boat. Oh, that was great. That was a great level, that was. Nigel out of the final turn. He goes 5th fastest for the Ferrari. Good stuff indeed then. And someone just jumped up behind him as well. Young Tommy in 7th position in the Williams as well then. 6.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. I cannot keep up with what's going on here. Doing fantastic action so far in this qualifying session now. Farham coming down the back straight. coming down the back straight then. So it looks like Serious Russia had an issue there with his timing screen said. Pyro saying, I'm going to try and do from the back to the front of the grid. So I'm not setting a lap then, Pyro is. And then so he's happy in the Haas car, just enjoyed himself. Good 17th there from Pyro. Gunnar, good luck to Silver then. Gunnar will be part of the Silver family for next season. Good stuff indeed then. Theo, hello everyone. How are you all? So it's yes, good stuff to see Theo in the comments as well. And Theo, of course, a bronze Grand Prix winner. And I got to say, if I was a better man, I would actually put a cheeky old whisper bar on for Theo for next season, perhaps, and for maybe a championship challenger. And talking about the champions in gold, what about the champions in silver for next season? New Potato not here tonight, and Farham is in replace for New Potato, but we're going to have two bronze world champions in silver for next season. We've also got Dylan as well. Dylan has got to really make up for his teammates' shortcomings for tomorrow night, and Williams could also be the Constructors champions in bronze for the first time in their history as well. Good stuff indeed there. Dylan just shows off how impressive he's been to win with basically just one driver in that car in bronze. Fantastic stuff indeed there from Dylan. We've got Jake the Slayer, who's invalidated his time, so he's going to have another bite of chair as well. Back with Cody as well. Let's go on board with Cody in a 14th position as he is flicking it through the very fast turn 2 and 3. Emerson saying good luck, looking forward to seeing the top 3 in gold next season as well. I'm looking forward to that. I'm really loving gold's roster for next season. Looking very intriguing to say the very least, isn't it? But of course, we need to be thinking about the here and now, just like Steps does, as we're down the back straight. 2 DRS zones on this circuit, and we talked about the circuit last night, didn't we? It's not the most entertaining of race circuits, is it? Well, not on the road with Formula 1 anyway, but last night was a fantastic race, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me. There was so much action. There was a lot of DRS trains, wasn't it? But not only that, though, there was some action right down the final of the 2 long straights, and it was brilliant to watch, wasn't it? Here comes Cody then, who is braking now. Where's he braking then? Just before the 50-meter board. That's absolutely incredible, isn't it? Look at that then. A lovely in-camber turn there. Cody absolutely nails that one. Lovely stuff indeed there for the Mercedes driver. Car's ready to. Now he's into the final part of the lap as well. It's very technical, this final part. Oh, he's gone wide, Cody, also. As I think he's showing up the car a bit too much there, unfortunately, then, so he's going to have another bite of cherry. And what about his teammate Slayer? Slayer's in the relegation battle for quite a long period of the season, then, but he is out of the relegation zone at the moment, isn't he? And he is, well, if he stays out, he could be able to. He will be in silver for next season as well. Bucket saying, "Cody crashed me. I will." Oh goodness gracious me! Then, as Buckus is not too happy with the Mercedes driver there, as he is not a happy bunny about him and Cody have come to blows there, unfortunately. Then, but I'm not sure if it is done intentionally, but if it was done intentionally, I would definitely flag it up with the stewards there, because that is not really a part of. That's not really good at all. Is that you shouldn't be in this league if you want to crash each other out, or any league, as a matter of fact. Then it doesn't matter what. Really, doesn't matter what league racing you're in. Then, if you try and crash someone out, then perhaps you should stay with online lobbies. TK is just coming out of the final part of the chicane as well, and down the back straight. Then, but of course, we're not going to throw the book at Cody or Buckhouse just yet, because it might have just been a miscommunication, of course. Then, as of course, it is very difficult, isn't it, to get a lap in, because drivers could be on a slow down lap, other drivers might be on a quick lap. We have seen drivers in the real world of Formula 1 trip over each other, haven't we? Of course, if anyone remembers Monza 2019, the Italian Grand Prix. Oh my word! There was some very red faces indeed, wasn't there? Goodness gracious me. Nigel saying, no gamer, I am I'm safe, Ben. We've also got Gurman saying, lovely time, Curly, then. Hashtag Tommy for president, hashtag Mushroom for vice president, or VP. TK goes at 10 fast at the moment. Good stuff indeed. Curly at the moment now is still the cream of the crop at the moment now. He is the fastest so far. Good stuff indeed. Then his McLaren teammate is in at 13th position. Cody has gone into 15th fast, and he's finding time, Cody, isn't he? There, goodness gracious me. He's found almost 2 seconds as he's restart this qualifying session. This is a lot of evolution here from the Mercedes making his debut tonight as well in silver. And look at that, and really hanging it all out to dry, isn't he, Cody? It's good stuff down the first part of the lap then as well. Here comes Farham now, who I think this is debut tonight. I am telling a lie. Goodness me, slap me with a wet fish. This is I think this is Farham's second Grand Prix today. He raced in a week ago in Brazil. So it just shows that my mind is really needs to be sorted out slightly. Then we've got a racing point of Farf in a third position now. I got to say, I think that will Farf be happy with this season or would be disappointed? He got that Grand Prix win in the British Grand Prix. He's in 12th position in the World Championship mode. Yes, he did join Silver almost halfway through the season then, but I'm wondering how his assessment is going to be of his time in Silver then. Farham is gone 14 fast then. He is safe at the moment. And Ayrton is going to have to find a bit of time. And here comes Buckhas then, who is just riding those curves as well. And Cody is in trouble then. I think he's out qualified, unfortunately. Cody could be out qualified. Is there anyone else going to be out qualifying here? Pyro is not qualifying then, so he is down in 19th position now. Wilson in 20th. He got disqualified for parking in the wrong location then. Angelique there saying that night. Good evening, Angelique. We've got Cody in 17th position now. Buckhas in 16th position. Out the final turn. Is he improving? He's improved quite a bit there. He's in the 30s, the low 36s then. But he's still not through it. And has he got enough fuel for one more run then? I don't think he has, and that fuel light is flashing then, and we might have our 5 drivers already out of qualifying, unfortunately. Oh, I got an email from Just Eat, and I think they're just trying to plug me now, aren't they, Just Eat? Thank goodness me. They know that if they ever go hard up Just Eat, then they know where the business will come from. It'll come from me because I cannot stop. Then I'm basically like Pringles. Once you pop, the fun can't stop then. Ayrton there down the old support grid, the old support paddock, isn't it, here in Abu Dhabi? Of course, I think that's where Formula 2 usually lives, isn't it, on that side. Farf has gone fast, and I think he put me in my place there. He definitely has, hasn't he? He's gone fast. It's 3 tenths of a second in front of Curly. That's quite an impressive margin there from Farf, I must say. That's pretty impressive to say the very least. That Buckhas is unfortunately out of qualifying. There is Ayrton there. Is he going to abandon this up? Then he is through into qualifying to the moment. Ayrton is, and this potentially could be his final race in silver for Ayrton in Ayrton's whole career, just like Curly and Cirrus Mushroom. He's never missed a race in ALR since debuting back in the Italian Grand Prix of Bronze all those years ago. Out of the final turn, then Ayrton comes across the line. He goes 6 fast as Ayrton. That's goodness me. He's definitely very much been putting the sandbags on that AlphaTauri. He's in 6 fast at the moment. Good time indeed. But it's Farf who steals Curly's at limelight at the moment, or steals his thunder so far, and he goes up fast. It's 3 tenths of a second in front of Curly, but remember, he's lost a bit of his front wing now. Farf hasn't, so Racing Point haven't got out of this completely unscathed, have they, unfortunately? So that's a bit of a shame now for Farf. But however, he is fast, and for whatever it's worth at the moment. But of course, we are focused on the 5 slowest drivers at the moment, and they are Buckhas, who's just coming into the pits. And Cody out qualifying as well. Murphy out qualifying. Pyro and Wilson also out qualifying for this qualifying 1 session. Then. And they're just now on board, then with the Mercedes drivers. He is just touring back into the pits as well. Then, driving back into the pits. Of course, what I was going to speak about with Troy. Of course, Troy is at the moment. He has got the joint all-time race wins in silver with 11, and that is with Glock at the moment, who had 11 Grand Prix wins in his championship winning season in season 1 of silver. If Troy wins tonight, then he will be the all-time most winningest drivers in silver with 12 Grand Prix wins. That is fantastic, isn't it? From Troy then, and I must say it's been the second half of the season where Troy has absolutely leapt up, hasn't he? He's got 4 Grand Prix wins in a row, Troy has, and I must admit, I haven't publicised this enough, have I? Shame on me. Shame on me. He has won the Japanese, United States, Mexican, and Brazilian Grand Prix, Troy has. He's gone for 5 Grand Prix wins in a row. Magnificent stuff indeed, and I think that might be a record as well. Ooh, if I'm not very much mistaken then. Just taking a look to see who's out of qualifying. Then Wilson, who's been disqualified for parking in the wrong place there. We've also lost Pyro as well, but Pyro was not keen to come out there. Nor was Murphy for an 18th position there. Cody down in 17th and Buckhurst in 16th position there. But I think both that Buckhurst and Cody must have been involved in some kind of altercation there by the sounds of it. But hopefully they could sort that out, then going through into qualifying at number 2 then. Right then, so we're now into qualifying 2. Let's see what we can do then. And here we go then for qualifying 2 then. 15 cars that is going through for the shootout of qualifying 3. Let's see what we can do then for qualifying 3. I've got a real bad. I hope I've got a sore throat coming. That's not very good, is it? Goodness me. Maybe it's all the hot air that is blowing out then of my mouth. Buckhurst saying, well done to all the drivers that made it through into qualifying 2. Sorry if I impeded anyone. Saw the Alpha pretty late then, but I hope it didn't affect my lap too much there. Don't worry about that, my good man, then, as I think both Alpha males are through then, so no harm, no foul, I would say then. Well, Nigel's thinking about putting on the intermediate tyres there for some reason. Oh, goodness me. I think that Ferrari are very famous, aren't they, for throwing on the wet tyres when it's probably not ready for the wet track. Remember Malaysia 2009, for example, because that very much comes into the memory, doesn't it? Right then, in terms of the form this season, then of course Troy has won 11 Grand Prix. I think Gamer's got the second highest, then with 4 Grand Prix wins as well. And I've got to say, the reason why Silver is so competitive, listen to the race winners here. We have had Farr with a Grand Prix win. We have had Ayrton with a Grand Prix win. Nigel with a Grand Prix win. Welshman and Otto with a Grand Prix win. Banana Man with a Grand Prix win as well. The Paynes with a Grand Prix win. Goodness gracious me, then listen to those amount of drivers, and that's absolutely yeah, it's absolutely incredible stuff indeed then. Well, we've got, now out of the pits there comes TK at the moment then. We have got Williams out on track at the moment, which is young Tommy coming down at the back straight then. Let's see what we can do there. Just on board then is, let's see what is going to be occurring then on this lap then. So we've got TK out at the moment. He's on the medium tyres. If he gets through in the qualifying 3, he must start on the tyres which he sets as fast as time on into qualifying 3. I know it sounds like old news, ladies and gentlemen. I know that a lot of you are much more about Formula 1 than I do. That's a sure fact. But of course, if anyone is new watching tonight, then they may be interested to see what's going on. And to be honest, the new people that is watching tonight, then welcome. And you probably know, you'll probably be telling me what's going on there by the end of this qualifying session. I can assure you of that. Yeah, young Tommy then, who's in the Williams, I think that young Tommy is very unlucky to start his career in ALR. He's only had 2 DNFs though in 12 starts, so not too bad. His first race was at the French Grand Prix, wasn't it, there, where he scored a fantastic 9th position, and he is now running down into turn 1. Well, he's not running down, he's driving down into turn 1, isn't he? There's a Red Bull underneath him. Hopefully Steve can get through that tunnel, and look, his teammate Wilson there. I'm sure Wilson is very much not going to appreciate me bringing that up again, is he? But unfortunately, I'm always a bearer of bad news. Young Tommy then down into the first sector as well. He's done a 17.6 so far. So good stuff indeed there for young Tommy. In terms of battles, it's going to be one here tonight then. There's a lot of individual battles, I think it is, are very much up for grabs tonight, isn't it? Young Tommy's coming down the back straight. I've already spoke to you about the relegation battle as well, which I would say is, I think the Bradfield probably is in that relegation scrap as well. So it's Bradfield, Slayer, Tommy, Steve, and Ayrton there. Any one of those drivers could really be relegated. Same with FIFA Beefy as well. Actually, it's ridiculously close, and that's how close Silver is. And it's absolutely incredible. The mid pack is, and we have got, of course, we have got Sirius Russian. Hopefully, he wants to. One of Sirius Russian there, be aiming for 4th position like there with no new Patel then. So that'll be a very good season for Sirius Mushroom. A very good stuff indeed. That Gordo is at 15 points away from Sirius Mushroom as well. It's doable, but I think that Gordo is going to have to be driving out of his skin there. So Wilson, who's unfortunately had a bit of a difficult time to start off his session here tonight, but Wilson is currently 7 fast running. I think Curly would be very much aiming to get in front of BP and potentially Wilson as well. And so I think that's what Curly Red would be aiming for tonight. He's had a very strong end of the season, Curly is there. He was a bit lost in the middle stage of the season, but he's very much back on it like a car bonnet tonight then. And Brazil last week as well. Young Tommy has gone fast there, 37.4 there for the Williams car. Very nicely done indeed. TK is on the medium tires. Young Tommy is on the softs, of course. And I'm not sure if that was an out-and-out, was a proper full beans lap then, but that remains to be seen, of course, doesn't it? Oh, turn 19 as well then, and now we've got two right-handers coming up as well. There it is, and there's the first one. Now the second one is why you do not want to run too wide then, because that is this lap and the next lap invalidated. Finish line there, throws it across the line, it's on a 34.7. What about Serious Mushroom? He has started this lap then, Serious Mushroom is jumping the gun there, as TK has done a very good job of getting on the way there. Good stuff indeed there for TK. We've got FIFA. Beefy is in the wall, and he's gone off in a huge way. It's the perilous turn number 19, and FIFA is out of qualifying, and that is the same place where German went off, albeit it was a lot slipperier last season. And to FIFA Beefy out of qualifying, that is such a shame now, and what a shame indeed it is there for FIFA Beefy is out of qualifying, and that is it, unfortunately. Alfa Romeo Farham goes at second fast mode in the Alfa Romeo then, as Gurman says, that's not a nice turn now. It really isn't, is it? Because unfortunately Gurman has found out the hard way, but in the end, but as we said there last season, it didn't matter in the end of the day, did it? As Murphy just couldn't get those final two positions there, could it? And Gurman there clinched the World Championship. Steve there taking a bit of a shortcut there, unfortunately, to turn 19, so I think he was probably concerned about FIFA Beefy's car and where it was. And FIFA Beefy is not going to be a happy bunny at all in that Ferrari, and unfortunately Cody saying good luck guys, sorry if I hold anyone up, I'm a bit so not a problem, my good man there. Of course, it's great to have you along for us, for Cody. It's great long to have you with us then, Cody, and yes, I hope you enjoy your first race in ALR, and we're certainly we're going to be looking out for you, my good sir. We've got Nigel is very disappointed about his teammate there going into the wall then. FIFA's just gone mint then, as FIFA's just gone mint now, so he's not very key. I was not very happy about that. He's a serious match in 3 tenths of a second away from TK, who's currently the benchmark so far. But TK is fast at the moment. We've got a Haas car out on track at the moment now. I think it's Gordo on his outlap. Then Curly is on a quick lap at the moment now. I think Curly is the furthest of the drivers on the flying lap around at the moment then, and he breaks into turn at 12 as well. Dylan saying I literally thought Beefy was doing donuts. I used to love this track. I should be good in the race set. So FIFA hopefully going to dust down his overalls there and have a strong end to his season as well. FIFA, of course, I remember the Chinese Grand Prix where FIFA probably should have won the Grand Prix there, didn't he? But unfortunately he came across a very serious mushroom, didn't he? So they came to blows in the I think at the back end of the straight in the Chinese Grand Prix, didn't they? Unfortunately it was a racing incident there. I think it was a racing incident if I remember. Curly, my word there, he is loving it, isn't he, at the moment? I think I read somewhere that German and Curly have been very much working together with their practice programs lately, and it's very much I would say it's elevated both drivers, hasn't it, really? Because I think that German's he's a hot property anyway, German is, but I think lately it's been very much his race pace has been pretty impressive to say the least. And Welsh Ranada has gone fast as well, and she underlines her potential tonight as well. A great time indeed. But not only that then, so I think that German and Curly are very much elevating both their statuses in ALR there with some great performances. Ayrton goes 5th fast at the moment in the AlphaTauri. Potentially could be his final race in gold then, but we'll see how that pans out. Troy is on a fast one then. Here comes Gordo down the back straight as well. There's a racing point just in front of us. Very good stuff indeed then. As Gurman saying now, Beefy, you silly sausage, you. As Gordo is, I'm not going to repeat what Gurman says. And it's not rude then, but I have a feeling that I'll probably make it rude then because I can't pronounce things at the best of times, can I? Bucka saying first class commentary, by the way. Thank you very much, Bucka said. Very appreciate all your comments coming and keep on coming in, guys. Guys and girls, and of course, Sarah, because I do need a lot of help with what's going on in this session because I have no idea and I've just smashed my eye. Ow, that hurt. Gordo coming across the line now, and he also smashes his personal best. There goes 4th fastest. Good stuff indeed there for the Haas car. Lovely jubbly indeed then. And great stuff. Young Tommy just coming down the back straight start stop. Here comes Farf as well, just riding those curves. Very nice indeed, Farfus. Here comes the world champion, which is Troy into the point and squirt section as well. Serious Russian TK stayed on the racing line in turn 1 there. So Serious Russian there, not a happy chappy then. We've seen it on the stream, didn't we? We thought the TK got off in just about enough time, but I think it was enough there to distract Sirius Russian, wasn't it? It was in the line of fire. Troy goes fast there, and my word, he's half a second in front of his teammate Welsh Maldonado. That is absolutely sensational, isn't it? From Troy. This man's a genius behind the wheel, isn't he? He's an absolute genius. I don't really know what else to say about him, really, do I? Magnificent stuff there from Troy. Really well done indeed. I'm looking forward to Troy having a full season in gold as well. And Troy is a driver. He's a very much a Mika Hakkinen kind of driver, isn't he? There, I think he has the talent, doesn't he? Of course, we've seen him. I think got his first ever race or first ever qualifying session. He got pole position, didn't he, in his bronze debut back in the Dutch Grand Prix, if I'm not very much mistaken, but of course what he's done this season now is that he has really got that consistency right down right on the head. Then he's been brilliant, hasn't he? He hasn't had no DNS at all in 5, and I think he's only not scored in 1 race or 2 races. Here comes Nigel across the line, then Nigel going second fast as well. Then he is 4/10 of a second away from Troy at the moment. Troy is the benchmark. We got Steeden, who's into turn 19. That's where he lost FIFA Beefy earlier on that session as well. As we're now floating into turn 21 and coming out of the final turn, and Steve goes up 6 fast at the moment. Good stuff indeed. Farf is in some major issues there, and he's gone off in a huge way. Farf is out of qualifying. He has gone off in turn number 3, 4, something like that. Then all I know is that he has gone into the wall, and Farf, oh goodness gracious me! Then I don't think we had anyone crash there last night, did we? Or didn't crash there, which caused him to retire from the session. Anyway, that's not what I remember. Anyway, but don't quote me on that one, because I don't know, have no earthly idea about all that kind of jazz and all that kinds of stuff. But as we're just coming down the back straight as well, then as we're just seeing what's occurring then on the old comments at the moment. Maybe I should stay away from the comments for a minute, shouldn't I? Really, goodness gracious me, what is going on here? Goodness gracious me. Anyway, yes. So apologies, guys, if I don't read out your comments for a minute, because unfortunately, there we got a bit of we got someone who's playing a bit of what's that game called? Among Us, isn't it? Among Us, where we got a bit of a imposter among us, aren't we? Unfortunately, I've got to say I quite like Among Us. That's actually very good stuff indeed. Then I really enjoy that game. Actually, it's really good. I downloaded it a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately, I'm not very good at it. It's because I was a bit too sus. People kept realising that I was the perpetrator for some unknown reason, but there you go. I stick out like a sore thumb. But maybe I shouldn't have called myself imposter. On board of Bradfield, and he is now winded up for a lap, isn't he? In the McLaren, his teammate Curdy is very much on song here tonight, isn't he? Very good stuff indeed. Then I could make a Simply Red joke, but I'm going to leave it to one side for the minute. Bradfield out of the final turn, and Slayer has started off with some sort of Slayer just in front of Bradfield, so we keep it on Slayer first. And so at the moment, needs to drive, so need to get through into qualifying 3 at this moment in time. That's Ayrton, who is just visiting the scenery. He's just getting out of the way at the moment, Ayrton, this end, so we'll leave him be for the minute. Hang on. Oh gosh, and so we're now coming down into turn 7 as well. Just over the grandstand there is the Ferrari world, isn't it? It's absolutely, I think it's the fastest roller coaster in the world, I've heard, or something like that. I know that the fastest UK roller coaster in the world, the fastest roller coaster in the UK was, I think, wasn't it a roller coaster in Norton Tower? Wasn't it Retail, something like that? I went on it once, and I got to say, I basically lost all my hair, really. It has grown back there. I've got to say, one of my funniest memories of standing underneath that roller coaster as well was my mate was on it, and literally I just stood underneath the start of the roller coaster, and all I heard was, I'm not going to repeat what he said, but I'll go to let's just say I haven't got the profanity buzzer, but let me just tone it down. All I heard was him go poo, and he just went flying off into the distance there. Quite funny. Anyway, enough about that. I haven't been to towers in a very long time, actually. There, of course, with all the pandemic and all that kind of jazz going on, I'm a bit of a wimp, really. I love speed and all that, but I love speed when I'm in control, which is quite a deadly thing, really, is it? At the best of times, and yellow flags at the back end of the circuit. And, but yeah, I got to say, I went on Oblivion once out. I was always crying with fear. Slayer then out of the final turn. Let's see what Slayer could do then as he puts a time on the board. Slayer goes 7 fast, and what about Bradfield? Bradfield goes 12 fast. That's not enough then to get through the qualifying free just yet. Then Bradfield is out of qualifying. Slayer is through into qualifying. 3/4 of a minute to go in the session. Young Tommy is down the back straight. I think Gordo is out on circuit as well with 40 seconds to go in this qualifying session. And as he just accelerates away and going down as a DRS there for young Tommy. Then young as a Curly there is just cruising out the one. He is on the soft tires. I wonder if Curly's out there just to hold his position there slightly. Then Steve there very much in the thick of things here tonight, isn't he? A great performance there from Steve. Very much on it like a car bonnet here tonight. Brilliant stuff indeed. And you can see then as day is starting to turn in tonight, then as the natural light is beginning to fade, the artificial light is taking over here. It's like a baseball stadium or a football stadium, more which is probably a better description, isn't it? There, I've got to say, but of course we've got a lot more lights around here. Serious Mushroom, unfortunately, is at 9th position. He's precariously close, had to be knocked out of qualifying too here. Slayer is Slayer's through at the moment, and Curly and Troy is also out of qualifying. Curly didn't get through, unless I'm very much mistaken. I might be mistaken. Tommy has found 2.5 seconds on that lap. Good stuff indeed. What about Curly? Is Curly able to start a lap? Then I don't think he is. Then, so he's out of he's not out of qualifying yet, is he? Well, he's not out of qualifying at the moment, is he? Oh, Farham is out of qualifying now. If my time is right, out of the final turn and yellow flag as well. Farham then out of the final turn and he is out of qualifying. Unfortunately, Bradfield's out of qualifying as well. Ayrton is also out of qualifying. Ayrton in 11th position, and that might be a good place to start though for Ayrton, as potentially he will be able to choose whatever tires he wants to start on there. So that's not all doom and gloom there for Ayrton tonight. And he wasn't looking forward to tonight's race, but I gotta say that's a very good fist of things, isn't it? Ayrton in 11th position tonight, and good stuff indeed there. Gordo is in 8th position as well. Serious Mushroom is through into qualifying 3 hours. He was looking very disappointed in the comment section there, but he'd be very happy to go through Serious Mushroom. So well done indeed there. Out of qualifying then, we've lost FIFA and Farfa. Both hit the wall quite heavily around here. I'd say it's very difficult to have a safety car around here, but I think we had 2 last night, didn't we? Or did we have 3? We had 3, didn't we? Goodness gracious me then. Goodness gracious me then. Yes, we did have 3 safety cars, didn't we? Bradfield is in 13th position then on medium tires. He didn't even think about going on to the soft tires, did he? Farham in 12th then. Ayrton in 11th position there. Those are the 5 drivers there out of qualifying 2, as we are now building up for the qualifying 3 as well. In terms of Gordon comes across the line. In terms of the qualifying, reports, performance, report, I'm not sure. But in terms of what's in qualifying, goodness me, we've all got medium tires out there, haven't we? Because last night I think we had 4 drivers on the soft tires, 6 drivers on the mediums. Well, tonight then it's a very much status quo, isn't it? Everyone wants to start on the medium tires and to give a very nice flexible strategy course then for the race itself. And tonight is very interesting, is that no one wants to start on the soft tires at all. Oh my goodness me. Out of qualifying, FIFA, Beefy, Farf, Bradfield, Farham and Ayrton. Unfortunately, all missed out of qualifying at 3, unfortunately. But we're going to go to qualifying 3 in just a jiffy. Troy has been on pole position for the last 3 Grand Prix. Is he going to make it 4 in a row? Of course, he's going for 5 Grand Prix wins in a row as well. Fantastic stuff there from Troy. Let's see what we do then. For a moment saying he did not expect to make it into qualifying 3 on the medium tires. Really struggle around here. Serious Mushroom is very happy to be through then, as of course as Nosy points out that he is through into qualifying 3. So good stuff indeed there from Serious Mushroom. And he was feeling very much down in the dumps as well. Thank you very much for all of you joining us. Goodness gracious me then. Well, there's a lot of you joining us here on this splendid Monday afternoon then. I must say though, I'm already sweating, and that's not good at all. I've been trying to keep my cool in qualifying so far. I've been trying to just take it a bit calm here, take it a bit more casual. That's not happening at all, is it? I hate the hot weather. I really do indeed. That as as we come out of the pits now as well, is Welshman on saying, I think the Slayer still got qualifying rebound from when she reported Slayer in Russia. Goodness me, that's a low blow, isn't it? As TK comes out of the pits now, and here he comes then. So TK currently is, of course, unfortunately had the wrath of Serious Mushroom in the first qualifying session now, which of course he didn't appreciate as well as he is just taking the shortcut there as the alternative version there. A lot of people on the old interweb there was saying that why don't they just cut out that Mickey Mouse chicane of turn at 5 and 6 then? Well, because there's no runoff there, is it? Because look at how close the grandstand is there. There's going to be a lot of pace going down into there, and I don't think they can move the grandstand back either because there'd be a lot of money, and also Ferrari World's behind there as well, isn't it? But there's a lot of configurations around this track there. If they really wanted to make something of it, they can't they really? There's so many different configurations there. I must say that Codemasters is talking about having another short track on the calendar as well, aren't they, for next season? And I must say that goodness gracious me, it's like that song, isn't it? My. I think it is, isn't it? But I think that one of the short tracks may be a track around here, perhaps. Then I'd like a short track around Austria personally, because they've also got a short configuration around there. But that also remains to be seen as well. Remember, for a very unusual proposition of ALR at the moment, then, is we normally know what the calendar is by now, going into season 6 of ALR Formula 1, but we don't know, do we? We don't know what is going on for next season then. But what we do know, I think, is it's starting off in Bahrain. Then it's anyone's guess, isn't it? The pandemic has really thrown a spanner in the works of the calendar, isn't it? Of course, the official Formula 1 calendar is Bahrain. Then we go to Amalia Romero, the San Marino Grand Prix in round 2. Then before we go to the Portuguese Grand Prix in round 3, I don't think that's the case there, because Codemasters think it's going to be a DLC, isn't it, for those tracks there, isn't it? So that's what. So those tracks may not be on the. I may not be on the LR calendar when we come to it, so we might have to skip and go to the Spanish Grand Prix and round. So Spanish Grand Prix might be round 2 for next season. Monaco might be in round 3. Oh my word! There, whatever the case may be, season 6 is going to be an absolute phenomenal. Is an absolute phenomenon. I'm looking forward to that one. It is going to be a cracker. It's going to be a cracker of a season. Then, nonetheless, then as we're on board now with TK, who's gone purple in the second sector. Wilson saying we don't know for next season, especially not knowing when the new tracks come out. Then definitely, don't we? And of course, so Wilson just elaborating on what I'm saying there, but basically in a sentence there, whilst I basically took all of TK's lap there to spit that up there. Oh goodness me, I'm not a master of description, am I? TK is coming under the hotel. Of course, ALR does not pay for the F1 drivers to be in that hotel, but however, I'm in that hotel because there you go, I just love luxury. TK into the final turn as well. There's Curly, he's about to start us up as well, but I think that TK ain't going to get a slipstream as such, but he's done a 33.6 and starts off. That is a very phenomenal time right out of the box there. Very good stuff indeed then. And so coming out of the final turn as well, Wilson, Gordon going second fast. I was reading Wilson's comment there. I need to get back, I need to get my head back in the game. Then here comes Steve, it's Wilson's teammate out of the final turn, and he just jumps down there, and Steve is currently second fast at the moment. Good stuff indeed there for Steve. Young Tommy is on the back straight. Serious Mushroom now is coming into turn 20 and turn 21, and let's go into the final turn as well. And says Serious Mushroom now 33.9. Then good stuff indeed. Then what about the Mercedes? And Sarah's going to start off this up as well. Young Tommy is on the back straight as well. Going back then, says Sarah saying that Austria short. It's short enough as it is. Laugh out loud there. It is, isn't it? But I think that there's a cut-off, isn't there, going into up the back straight. Wilson saying that we might miss the new tracks next season and have them for the season after in January. Then, of course, remember Wilson is the young Tommy is in some major difficulty there, so he's gonna have to do another lap. Unfortunately, here comes Welshman Oda with the best helmet awarded tonight. Fantastic. But Wilson, the founding father of WNR, then of course weekend night race, and then of course Fridays and Saturdays as well. And so of course they are very much going to be very much like us. Really, it's not really sure what the calendar is going to be. But Wilson suggesting that maybe the new tracks will be on their next season's radar. Welshman Otto is going to fifth fast at the moment, and I think that I've just seen that someone. It is Curly up in the third fast at the moment. He's 2 tenths a second away from TK at the moment. Good time indeed. What about Nigel then? Nigel's just starting off his stuff at the moment. What about Troy, the world champion? champion also starting off his up as well. What about Slayer? He's invalidated, Slayer as well. But young Tommy, he is coming down the back straight. He's on a 16-9 in the first intermediate split time. And accelerates away. BP, but good, I can't race tonight. Good luck, friends. Thank you very much for joining us at BP in the comments as well. It's a shame that BP's not here tonight, but we are looking forward to seeing what BP can do in next season's championship. And I said that who do I say that I thought might be a very good driver to back? I think it was Gordon, wasn't it? But I say that maybe BP is also a good man to really back your put your bet on for next season. Maybe young Tommy. What about Serious Russia? That is if you look at the midfield or the mid-table in silver, all those drivers that are staying in silver next season, I must say it might be down to who can master the Formula 1 2021 game first. Then, because I've got to say that is what's going to be the major factor for next season. Tommy goes across on his 6th pass and he's had 2 laps on those tyres, so that might not be his out and out best then. So that is going to be crucial, I think, for Silver. I think Silver is in a very unique position, isn't it? Because the drivers are so close, aren't they? It's going to be so closely fought next season. It really is. It may come down to one mistake there in qualifying all the race. And Troy goes faster. He's on pole position by 4/10 of a second. Nigel goes second faster. 2/10 of a second away as Nigel and Troy going to gold next season there and showing they got some pace here tonight as well. TK has also very much been on the money as well. Slayer coming down into the chicane of turn 11, 12 and 13, I think, now accelerating away. Smithy Almighty, great to keep you. Great stuff, guys. Everyone, very good stuff indeed. Then Smithy Almighty saying, "Good luck, Silver. Smash the last race." Said indeed, Smithy Almighty, a part of the COBALT racers who will hopefully will be racing on Wednesday night. Then when I'm back in the booth for one more race in of ALR this season on F1 2020. The only problem about doing this job of commentating on ALR is it makes the months and years go by way too quick, doesn't it? It only felt like yesterday that I was starting to commentate on F1 on this game at the beginning of season 4. Slayer has gone at 9 fast at the moment now. He's a whisker in front of Washmanado. Washmanado, I would say, is at I would say that you would think that she's down 10th position, that's not a very good time, but it's very close, isn't it? It's so close from 1st to 10th. It is ridiculous, isn't it? To say the very least said. Blatant race there has been spying on the Renault team as he has caught. I've got to swallow my tongue. As he has caught the Renault team there, very much doing the toe down the back straight, and we said it earlier on in qualifying too, didn't we? But yes, the Renault team very much giving each other a toe, and I wonder if that's why Troy has found that bit of time. I wonder if Nigel's done the same as well. BP saying as I'm just on board now as well. Now let's see what the Renault car, what they're going to do now. Gordo's out of the session straight away, isn't he? So Gordo at the moment then is currently then on an outlap at the moment, so he's just positioning the car, getting the car done nicely, and then we'll be finding out what Gordo does then. On this, of course, I'm feeling a bit emotional here tonight, aren't I? Because it's the last time I'm going to commentate on F1 2020. Now, of course, I've got a bit of a tear in the old eye as Gordo is just trying to really wind up as well. Goodness me, I've got to say thank you for all the views tonight. There, gosh, I think I got to say Silver is one of the most competitive leagues, isn't it, of ALR and every other league that I have that I have been a part of or watched or anything like that kind of stuff. And so Silver is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? I really love Silver, and he comes into turn 1 as well. But of course, I love all the AR leagues just as much as well. As I do not want to be, I do not want to say that I've got an ALR favourite because I haven't. Albeit I do have a soft spot for gold. Just watching Gordon coming down into turn number 4. Oh, he's trimmed off a bit too much of that curb. He's got a track invalidation there, and unfortunately Gordo is going to have another lap. Then he's only got 2 minutes to go. Gordo, I said, he's going to be kicking himself, isn't he, Gordo? But I must say that Gordo is the most improved driver of the season. He's also got my driver of the season if I was allowed to vote in Silver, but unfortunately I'm not then. But definitely from a verbal point of view, Gordo, you have been my driver of the season. Magnificent stuff indeed then. Sorry, coming down the Coming down the back straight. And so who is going to be who's going to be the first rider and start up? I think it's Cirrus Mushroom, isn't it? If I'm not very much mistaken, it is indeed. Well, 2 minutes ago in this qualifying session, your final 2 minutes of qualifying here in Silver as well. Keep your comments coming in, ladies and gents. Formula Williams can't get his soft tires to work here at the moment. So Slayer is in qualifying for the moment, but he's struggling to get those softs to work, isn't he? Out of final turn, and Cirrus Rush that goes under the dip, and here we go. Let's go on board there with the man who's fifth in the World Championship. He has had one Grand Prix win to his name in the Williams as well. He is very much a Williams legend at this point, isn't he? Because he seems to have a lot of he seems to race in the Williams a lot, doesn't he? Serious mushroom dance. And now going down the hill as well there. Of course, this track does have a lot of elevation change, doesn't it? Considering the fact, I think this is a very much a lot of the track. It's a man-made like area. This is around Abu Dhabi. I'm not sure. I know it's I think it wasn't it? If I'm not very much mistaken. There is a lot of money went into this facility. It looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't it? It's state of the art. It's very much it's very much worldly, isn't it? In this facility, very good stuff indeed. Going down the back straight as well, breaking down into second gear as well for Cirrus Mush, and then accelerating down as well. Love the helmet there from Cirrus Mush as well. Of course, we race as one then, and of course that is what Formula One and that is what ALR Formula One WNR is all about, isn't it? There, of course, we all race as one. There, we've all got a common love, and that is Formula One cars, fast cars, racing. That is what we're all about, isn't it? Here, and of course, I keep your comments coming in as well. Scooby Stew in the comments. All right, good evening all. Hello, Scooby Stew. I hope you're having a lovely time. Just less than half a minute to go in this qualifying session. While there's a Cirrus Mush there breaking in then, and coming down in to the under the hotel as well. Then as well, look at this, and as you can see, the hotel lights are really starting to take over the track as well. Yellow flag, that's a Red Bull. It's Steve. He's off the circuit, and Steve is having some major issues there. And oh goodness gracious me, that's a shame now for Steve. And what about Cirrus Rush? He improves to fifth fastest as he comes across the line. Good stuff indeed there for the Cirrus Rush. Maldonado 300, so a second down the second split time as well. We're on board now with Maldonado. She seemed to be at the thick end of the action, didn't she, at the beginning of the qualifying session, but she slipped back in this qualifying free session. Let's see what she can do as she's in the turn 90 as well, out of the final turn. And let's see as now, she's gone wide, she's invalidated her time. Maldonado is going to be 10th on the grid, and that is a major blow indeed, isn't it? Gordo's also invalidated as well, and he's going to be 7th fast on the grid. Curly then is coming to the final section as well. Killer Pitbull said, just googled and searched the construction cost for this track, and it's come up with 100 million or 1.322 billion for 800 million now. Goodness me, these are so big numbers I can't even say them all. That is ridiculous. That's 800 million pounds. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you very much, Killer Pitbull. Curly's gone second fastest there. He's on the front row of the grid. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then Troy into the final turn as well. This is going to be his fourth pole position on the road. He's got monopoly on that pole, and he's lowered the benchmark. He hasn't. He's had a so final sector. I was going to say a polling final sector, but definitely not. And TK is on the front row as well. He's very much around to the party late. Young Tommy is 8th fastest. And what about Slayer? He's found 3:10 a second. He's far another solo. He's up to 5th fastest. Nigel is in the pits, and Troy is on pole position then for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And Slayer fired up those tyres very nicely indeed late on there, and that's Troy's 8th pole position of his of the season as well then. Oh, fantastic stuff indeed there for Troy. Magnificent 8th pole position of the season, his 4th pole position in a row. He is unstoppable. Is he the silver world champion is there? And yes, very good stuff indeed there. But TK, what an end then to qualify now for TK. A great effort indeed. Curly on the second row there. Curly there is very much going to be in the mix there for the Grand Prix win there. Going for his first Grand Prix win of his career as well. Can Curly do it here tonight to cap off a solid season then? We'll find out. Going back to Killer Pitbull's comment there, because I really messed it up there. But Killer Pitbull said that it was 800 million pounds there for this facility. That is ridiculous. 1.322 billion pounds. My goodness me. what can you do with that money then? I'm once out. I'll try and buy a boat, to be fair. Anyway, let's see. The qualifying three ends and Troy on pole position by the slenderest of margins there. His second time wasn't as quick as his first time, was in TK. Almost snatched it there. TK's had a pole position before, hasn't he, this season? He had it in the Monaco Grand Prix. He's a very good customer in qualifying, isn't he? Let's see if he could do what he could do in the race. Curly on the second row of the grid in third position. He's on the racing line as well, with the first ever ALR World Champion on right alongside him as well, as we go into the race itself, then for what's going to be a fantastic one, isn't it? Buckhouse saying, congratulations, folks. Well, that was a great end to qualifying, wasn't it? Scooby Stew then, goodness gracious me then. I'm watching this evening when the seasons all end then. Yes, but don't worry about that, Scooby Stew. We will be back in action as well. As Dylan is thinking there's an apostle there for Jake the Slayer then, was he really pulled a lap out of the back, didn't he? When he was showing on those soft tires. Very good stuff indeed then. Blatant Rage, come on, Curly, and Curly saying, no loss all in one corner, but he's happy with third position on the grid. Good stuff indeed there. Nigel unhappy, as unfortunately had a couple of issues as well. Anyway, here we go then for the start of the Grand Prix itself. Right then, let's go then, and here it is then. We got 30 seconds to go before the countdown finishes, and we get going as well. And I thought I was going to sneeze, to be honest, but luckily I stopped that. Right then, right, here we go then. So this is going to be a cracking end to Silver. I have really enjoyed Silver this season. I got to say, it's been an honour and a privilege to commentate on every single Silver race. Fantastic stuff indeed then, and I really expect a good show from you guys then, so no pressure. Of course, you guys don't need to feel pressure there, because you just put on a good show anyway. But am I going to be commentating on a first-time Grand Prix winner tonight, or am I going to be commentating on Troy taking his 5th Grand Prix win in a row there, and have the most ever Grand Prix wins in an ALR Silver season with 12? My goodness me. Oh, that's absolutely great stuff indeed. I think that'll equal Emerson's Grand Prix wins this season as well, because I think Emerson has 12 Grand Prix wins in gold then. So that's pretty impressive stuff, isn't it, there from Troy? Magnificent stuff indeed there. I think Troy, though, it's been the last 3 or 4 Grand Prix, he's really elevated himself, hasn't he, Troy? Has, and magnificent. Since he's wrapped up the championship, he hasn't really took his foot off the gas whatsoever. That is why he is a complete F1 driver, and he's really putting himself very much back very much back up there, and very much very impressive stuff indeed. And we've got a lot of spinny circles at the moment, haven't we? I'm taking a look at the comments then as well, as Buckass is frozen at the start. Then Jake is also saying it frozen as well. Oh goodness me! Then so we may have a couple of gremlins, unfortunately, in this final race of Silver. But of course, we seem to have a lot of gremlins in Silver, don't we? I blame Farfan, because I think he's hosting again. So yeah, let's just blame Farfan, I reckon. Right then, so we may have a bit of a delay in this race then, and unfortunately for everyone who's starting out of the top 10, that their fresh tyres and that their fresh tyres may have given them an advantage, and that may not help them anymore, which is a big shame, isn't it, to say the very least then. But yeah, the spinning circles are still going around then, which is unfortunate for you guys, because that means that you've got another 5 more minutes of me talking at you instead of watching the race itself then. So we'll just wait to see what's occurring then, but that does not look too good at all, does it? We've just lost someone, actually. I didn't see who it was, really, because I just looked up, and that their nameplate had disappeared into the e-files, unfortunately. As the garages are empty at the moment, then of course, as the drivers, I think we're losing drivers, and as I think we're just about to, it might be a session restart. Then we'll look to see what is going on in the old paddock area as well, shall we? I gotta say, nobody tells me nothing. That's that's a quote there from Hot Fuzz. Then of course, I would suggest you watch it. It's a really because it's a great film, Hot Fuzz, isn't it? Of course, there is yeah, I really like Shaun of the Dead. I can't remember his proper name. What's his proper name then? I know, I think it's Nick Frost, isn't it? Who also is also next to him as well. But I can't remember who the Shaun of the Dead guy's called. Simon Pegg, that's it. Yes, Simon Pegg. More importantly, though, Nigel said it's a full race starting. Good stuff indeed there. So yes, so when someone has confirmed, then I'll wait for the invites to come out, and then we'll be back. We'll be back going then again. Then as I've got a bite on the back of my knee, which is really hurting me at the moment. Now, oh gosh. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Wilson. I got there at the end. Yes, Wilson Jake Wilson saying it is Simon Pegg. I do like Simon Pegg. I got to say, I liked. Was it? This is the end of the world's end or something like that as well. When it was on the pub crawl with those robots as well, that was quite funny as well. I quite like that. But I think my favourite was definitely Hot Fuzz. I absolutely love that. That was a great. That was a great show as well. And of course, Timothy Dalton was in it as well. Of course, the old James Bond from back in the late 80s as well. I think some of you may be too young to remember that James Bond then. I think Living Daylights, wasn't it? And License to Kill as well. Great stuff indeed. I was a big old James Bond nerd, was I? I like Pierce Brosnan as well. I think he was my favourite James Bond, actually. I'm not really keen on Daniel Craig then, but maybe he was a bit too rough for my liking. I quite like the more kind of comical, kind of over the top action kind of stuff. It was very much like a 80s kind of action film, like Die Hard and things like that. I loved Die Hard, the first one, brilliant stuff indeed. That as we got Wilson saying, World's End was great, but you can't beat Hot Fuzz. Yep, definitely agree with that. Hot Fuzz is definitely the best. As we finally got a grid here, but I don't think I've been invited to anything. Don't worry, Buckass said we're not doing qualifying, so do not worry about that. Yes, we're just going to do a restart. Of course, everyone who qualified in the are going to be lined up in the positions that you qualified on. So do not worry about that, Buckass. We ain't going to go through all that again. Otherwise, all the viewers are going to be tuned out if they got to listen to me in qualifying again. Goodness me. Dylan saying, love Shaun the Dead. Slayer saying, I love Hot Fuzz is awesome. And Buckass saying, Hot Fuzz is brilliant. Serious Rush saying, we're going to see you guys then. And Farham was the problem then. Wilson is saying as well, unfortunately then. So yeah, Farham was had a bit of a gremlin there, didn't he? So hopefully we can get this sorted out. Anyone who's joined us this is not the real race then. We are just on board Troy and Eddie, who's going to be taking us around the circuit. We're down the back straight as well, as I've got an error. Hopefully the stream doesn't cancel, because I'll be absolutely devastated, as we've got a lot of views tonight. Fantastic stuff indeed then, but I'm just going to hold my breath. I'm going to pause and see what's occurring then. So I'm back in the lobby at the moment, and we're just we'll just get going in a minute. Serious Russian there with some serious puns on the go. So close, but so far ham away. Good stuff. I still don't have an invite yet, by the way. I think that they've forgotten about me, haven't they? As I'm all alone there. I think it's just me and Buckass in the lobby at the moment, as we seem to have been forgotten about. Oh well. So what else shall we talk about? Shall we? We've talked about. I think it's the wasn't it the Cornetto trilogy? Wasn't it the with Simon Pegg when they had the Shaun the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and Ayrton sent me a link. Fantastic stuff. Sent me an invite, I should say. Of course, not the link. Oh goodness me, what we're talking about there. But yeah, I think it's the Cornetto trilogy, wasn't it? I absolutely love Simon Pegg. Great stuff indeed. Then just join the session now, and hopefully we'll be back in there in just a few moments. Serious Russian with a serious question there. Do not forget your setups, and that is very much a sure thing. Farf has forgotten about me, because both Will said, Welshman, Nado, and Ayrton have all invited me, but unfortunately, Farf hasn't invited me, and I've got a joining session there. It's taken a very long time there. Hang on a minute. Let me quickly get myself sorted out, shall we? I'm going to use Welshman Nado's invite. And I'm just joining the session now, just holding my breath. Hopefully I'll get back in the minute then. Nigel's got a drum roll then. Top 10, don't forget to start on the target. You set your lap in qualifying 2 on. Yes, that is an important note as well then. The lobby's almost set up. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Great stuff then to the lobby host then. I'm not sure who it is. And I'm not sure if it's Dan, Farf, or Ayrton, but good stuff indeed then. Or if it's someone else, I apologise profusely, as I don't really know who's a lot. I think there's a crown, isn't there, next to the... it is Dan then who's the host then for tonight, and good stuff indeed then. So well done, Dan. He's setting the lobby up very much in a jiffy, isn't he? Great stuff indeed. Oh gosh, I'm sweating again. All right, let me get my old towel off the go. There we go. So I've just wiped the sweat away from my brow. As it's the final race season. Of course, this is the perfect end to end the season, isn't it? As it just builds up the drama, doesn't it? And the anticipation and for Abu Dhabi then. So I've got to say, this is a good opportunity to talk about next season, isn't it? Of course, in for all 4 divisions then, 3 of the 4 divisions then, we've got silver, bronze, and cobalt. The top top 3 from silver, bronze, and cobalt will be promoted to the division above that. So in silver, for example, then we'll have a Gamer, Nigel, and Troy going up into gold, and that's going to be fantastic, isn't it? And then the bottom 3 from gold, silver, and bronze will be going down to the division below. There it is, really. As Oh, I got a friend request. Thank you very much, Cody. I'll accept that later on then. As of course, I'm in full flow at the moment, then, so don't worry. I will accept that very later on as well. As of course, I do love a good old friend request indeed. It makes me very happy indeed. It makes me almost ecstatic. I only had my hair cut a couple of weeks ago, but this has got very long again. I've got to say, I do grow my hair quite quickly for some unknown reason. It's really annoying, especially as I don't really like, I don't like looking at myself in the mirror as well, because I'm just like staring at the hairdresser as well. So it's always an awkward moment then at the hairdresser's. I might have to get my older sister to get out the lawnmower again and just give it a good old trim, I think, then, because it's becoming unmanageable again. So that's not good, is it? But there we go. That's the problem, isn't it? That us gentlemen have to go through, is it? With having to always get our hair and products going and all that kind of jazz, isn't it? I do use Tresemme actually, which I think it used to be used by that famous hairdresser, didn't it? I can't remember his name now. I think he was Italian, but I use Tresemme at the moment, and good stuff indeed. I think it's the purple stuff because it makes your hair smell nice or something like that. I don't know, but there we go. I don't use conditioner because my hair is just naturally soft and it's also springy as well. And the problem is, I've used gel today and it absolutely kills on my old headset, so it's really sticking at the moment. So I maybe should have washed that out before coming on. Before coming onto the before becoming live then as well. Right then, so yes, we got the track map in front of you. Enough of my waffle and my drizzle. Let's get on with the show, shall we? There's 21 turns then around Abu Dhabi, 5.5 kilometers, 3.4 miles. The lap record, actually, I don't think I said this before the beginning of the stream, did I? I don't think I did. That is absolutely appalling to me. The lap record in silver is actually V Todd with a 1:37.424. V Todd, of course, driver of the day last night, got his best ever performance in gold as well. V Todd did, and I'm a big fan of V Todd. He's a driver that seems to go under the radar and really come up trumps there when you least expect it. And last night there, he elevated. I think he was in the top 10 in the end. V Todd wasn't he? If I'm not very much mistaken. So very good stuff indeed there for Vito as well. Thank you, Buckhouse, as well there for your friend request. I'm loving these friend requests, by the way. Oh, fantastic. Dylan saying I thought he was on Inters then. J-Dog saying that let's go with the old fist as well. Good stuff. And Search Russian reckons that Troy will still win on the old wet tires. Oh, goodness me. He did something that just I think they're just trying to give poke fun at Troy. But going back to, I don't want to keep talking about Troy, but I think this season he has been magnificent, hasn't he? Listen to the stats, and he's had 11 Grand Prix wins in 21 starts, then 8 pole positions in 22 qualifying, 14 podiums in 21 starts as well, and he's had no DNFs as well. The only race where he didn't score any points at all was Bahrain in the round 2, and the Great British Grand Prix in round number 12, and those are the only 2 races where Troy has not scored any points, and that is why he's the world champion. It's about consistency, and he has been mega stuff indeed, hasn't he? As Fungus, select your car. I think I've selected my car. I'm not. Let's take a look. Goodness gracious me! And I hope I selected my car. I think that, it's Serious Mushroom who hasn't selected his car then. Aha, I get that now. So Serious Mushroom didn't select his car then. The very naughty Mushroom indeed then. But he should be in the Williams anyway, because he's the last driver to select his car. Right then, here we go then. There's the countdowns on the final countdown for the final Grand Prix here in ALR. Thank you for keeping with us, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, there and going through my appalling chat about my hair products and all that kind of stuff. But I think you did all like the hot fuzz stuff, didn't you? Though it just randomly came into my head then. Really, I think of course there's a lot of quotes there. If anyone wants to know anything about quotes, just listen to Emerson there. He loves the old hot fuzz, doesn't he? He's still chasing that swan then, those swans end, but it's just the one swan actually, isn't it? Lovely shots here from Abu Dhabi. So there is where Wilson's qualifying ended, really. Underneath the tunnel and then on the track in turn 2, unfortunately there. Very unfortunate there from Wilson, but he has a lot of fresh tyres, though, doesn't he, there, to really storm through the field there. That is what we want, isn't it? Then? So we keep, so we get going as well. Serious Russian forgot to select his cars then, unfortunately then. Troy and saying, yeah, you can't talk about me. I don't mind then. Good stuff indeed there, Troy. Well, of course, we just listed off his accolades for the season, haven't we? 7 fast stops as well. That's pretty impressive. I think in gold, the most fast stop was Emerson with 6, wasn't it? So I've got to say, that's pretty impressive, to say the least, there from Troy. Very good stuff. We've also got Wilson saying, through the gardens. Yes, indeed, that was a great scene as well. Unfortunately, I would be more like Nick Frost said, I would just be barraging through the fence there because I'm not very athletic at all. I would probably use my gut then to get through the wooden fence there and just a belly flop or something like that. But there we go. Enough said about my big old waistline. The better, I would think. Then I have signed up to the gym actually, but I just stood in there and I realised that I don't actually like the gym. So there we go. So that's a waste of like 15 quid a month. Excuse me. The gym's not for me then. I thought the vending machines might have been free if you signed up for £15 a month, but that is not the case at all, is that? Also, whilst we're just waiting to get going, hats off to Gordon and his 22nd Grand Prix start in silver tonight, and he has been in every single race. Fantastic stuff, Ben. Same with Ayrton as well. 22nd Grand Prix start as well tonight. Brilliant stuff. Same with Troyer, his second 22nd Grand Prix start, and Welsh Maldonado, Sirius Mushroom, and Curly. Well done to all those drivers and to have raced in every single Grand Prix in silver this season. Very good stuff indeed to all those drivers there. There's a handful who've only missed one Grand Prix. That is mega stuff indeed there, and I really appreciate you guys for giving up your Mondays week in week out then to drive. And I also appreciate you guys in the comments as well for giving up your Mondays to listen to this big old ginger waffle on about all kinds of nonsense. Let's go through the grid, shall we, from front to back. Troy on pole position then for his 8th time of his career and of his championship winning season in silver as well. This is 4th pole position in a row. He is really dominating the back end of the season. Good stuff indeed. Vintage is saying good luck, Silver. Thank you very much, Vintage. Troy on pole position on the medium tyres. 2nd position is TK. Curly in 3rd position with Nigel in 4th. Slayer in 5th position. I think that's his best of his career, isn't it? Steve looking very much like the old Steve that we seen last season in 6th position now. Sirius Mercer in 7th, excuse me. Oh no! 8th position is Gordo. 9th position is Young Tommy. And 10th position is Welsh Maldonado. That's the top 10. They're all on the medium tyres. Ayrton just outside the top 10. He is in 11th position there in the AlphaTauri. 12th position is Farham. 13th position is Bradfield. 14th position is Far. 15th position is FIFA Beefy. 16th position is Buckhurst. 17th position is Cody. 18th is Murphy. Pyro is in 19th. Wilson is in 20th position there. 2 drivers on the hard tyres, and Buckhurst and Wilson both are on the hard tyres. Soft tyres then for Pyro and Murphy. Everyone else is on the medium compound tyres then. So it's very much then as Wilson there just backing off then and letting the drivers go through. We're on board Wilson now then. Unfortunately, I haven't seen much of Wilson or Power then, so I'm going to make the most of this and we're on board with him now. The pit stop prediction there is a 2-stop strategy. We had 2-stop strategies last night. We had 3, I think we had a 3-stopper, didn't we, from Emerson there, who was very close to win the Grand Prix then. But of course, it was Pillars then who took his first ever Grand Prix win there, and I think that would be the first of many. Of course, remember, Pillars had 4 Grand Prix wins in silver, didn't he? And they really put on a as our AlphaTauri there almost spinning there, as he really put on a championship charge, didn't he? At the beginning of last season there, before the championship really took a dramatic nosedive with the French Grand Prix, and it was German there who took the championship by the scruff of the neck and went on to win the championship, didn't he? Well, this season then it's a very similar story actually, because the game started so well, but it's Troy who really elevated himself, didn't he? He took his first Grand Prix win back in the Spanish Grand Prix, and then in the Monaco Grand Prix as well. And I think it was really, and then it was really actually from there where he really started to really get the hammer down, didn't he? As we're on board now with Troy, then it's the calm before the storm then. And when are those lights going to come on then? Is that we've had a jink then, and we're just on board now as well. Troy's car is bouncing up and down as we get started for the start of the race as well. There are the red lights, and the revs are on then. 5 lights are on, and here we go. One more time in silver. Let's go. Go! And Troy's got away nicely, but TK is on the inside going into the right-hander at turn 1. No, it's the left-hander, I should say. And that's a great start, but look at this then. Nigel's on the inside of Curly. Curly's dropped down the order. We've got a yellow flag at the back there. That's a red ball around. And then Steve's gone right around there. That's a Mercedes on as well. Slayer and Steve come to blows. And they drop right down to the back of the field then. Oh, goodness me. And then Slayer and Steve come to blows. And Troy has got a perfect start there. Ayrton has moved up into 3 up into 8 for the today. That's contact. contact in the back as well, as Murphy is having a lunge there. Down the inside then. Wallace start then, and goodness me, then look at this, as our slipstream already. No DRS then for the first couple of laps, and that's a McLaren weaving. He is trying to get his tires out the temperature of Curly, I think then. Troy leads the Grand Prix. Second position there is TK, and just on board. Farfit's gone the inside of Pyro. He is oh gosh, and Farfit, oh my word, they just nudged Pyro out the way, and Pyro's got damage there, and oh goodness me, that was a bit that was a bit rough house there from Paul there. Goodness me. Pyro's got damage as well. Steve trying to come back on the inside. He's got into his teammate there. I can't say much about that, can I? I think I've just seen Dylan's comment there. There's Steve there who almost went to his teammate there. Far. I'm not sure if that was desync or whatnot. It looks very suspicious to me, because Far, I'm sure, would have got the throttle there. On board with Curly then, who's very much right underneath the rear wing, and Nigel as well as we come through to complete that one. And what is Steve is dropping down. Debris all over the course there, and Buckass has dropped down the order. Steve, I think it's got a full wing as he that one completed, and Mercedes is slipping off, and oh gosh, they've just taken out the Rolex board, and Pyro in the pits, and Cody's in the pits as well, and Pyro, I think it might be Pyro on some issues there with his connection perhaps then, so he's jumping around there. Oh goodness me, what's going on there? So we just had a close-up of Marshall's beautiful Gene line there, as Cody's in the pits, so thrown on a new nose cone now for the Mercedes then, as we're coming back out now then. So Cody in the pits, Steve in the pits as well, Farf in the pits, Pyro in the pits as well, and action galore in this in this opening start here in Abu Dhabi. And Troy down the back straight, TK second, Nigel in third position, Curly has dropped to a second back, Gordo's in fifth, Martinondo's in sixth position. That is the top six in the Grand Prix so far. Seventh position is Serge Mushroom, eighth is Ayrton. Farham is underneath the gearbox of Ayrton as well, as he is gaining on the back of Ayrton. He is currently at this moment in time, Ayrton is going to be in silver for next season, but he has to stay there, of course. But at the moment he's going to be battling, is he, with Farham and one. He's on those medium tires. Farham is going on the outside there. Oh goodness me, and where's FIFA having a look on the inside as well? And so we're going to be keeping an eye on Ayrton, but at the moment it's good enough to stay in in silver. Of course, he can finish ninth. If Steve doesn't get any points, Ayrton can finish ninth thanks to a gone count back, as Ayrton has won a Grand Prix this season, hasn't he? Steve unfortunately haven't, and that is what we're aiming for at the moment. And I think Ayrton would love it if the checker flag came out now, really, wouldn't he? Troy leads by 1.5 seconds then already, with Nigel is now in third position. Buckass has got a penalty. Fourth position is Curly at the moment. Gordo, fantastic start in fifth. Martinado in sixth. Serious Rush in seventh. Ayrton 8th. Farham in ninth position. FIFA in 10th position. Ooh, deep breath. Murphy in 11th position then on the soft tires. He got a penalty already then for Buckass. And there's Murphy on those soft tires and absolutely flying at the moment. And let's go to the comments, shall we? Vince saying, oh no, Sean's vocal cords needs a rest. Haha. Only 2 to go, mate. Well up. Yes, it is only 2 to go, isn't there? Yes. Ayrton's off the circuit then, and what is going on there? Ayrton there. Oh my goodness me. And Ayrton, who was having the perfect start in this Grand Prix, it's all gone peak tongue now, hasn't it, for Ayrton? He was doing enough then. He was doing enough to stay in silver, but that is not good, is it, now, for Ayrton? We're not sure what happened, and that is a major blow indeed. DRS is now enabled. Then here comes Maldonado having a look on the inside of Gordo. No Dyson Moon, and she's a bit too far back for Maldonado, and that's a great helmet, isn't it? I've got to say, I'm absolutely loving that helmet. Oh, what's this? And it's Murphy who's staying on the inside. FIFA had a bit of a squirrel, and now FIFA's going to have to look beyond, because look, young Tommy's on full beans there, and he has gone through and up into 10th position there. Curly and Gordo's through. I'll go back to this ball here, because young Tommy is through and up into 10th position. Magnificent stuff. Ooh. No, look, it's Ayrton there. It's just try. Oh, who's going to the back of Ayrton? That's Slayer. Oh, Slayer's going to the back twice. There's Ayrton is trying to get out of the way. And Slayer has damaged the car. He has damaged the car, Slayer said. And that is not good, is it, for Slayer, unfortunately. Oh, goodness me. Troy leads by 1.5 seconds there. Troy is just serenely drawing out in front of Mother. Gordo's become a bit of a stopgap at the moment, isn't he? So he needs to find a bit of time now. Gordo does that. If, of course, the motor, because he's at the moment now starting to hold up these drivers in the background at the moment. Vintage saying Wilson P20. Well, Wilson's gone from P20 to P12 in 4 laps. He's jumped up 8 positions there quite nicely indeed then. So good stuff indeed. Bradfield in the pits as well. And so we've got a lot of pit stop action there at the opening exchanges here in this Grand Prix. But this is far from done. And we had a free pit of safety cars last night in gold then. So expect more of the same here tonight, I would say. Dylan there saying hopefully Shaw doesn't take me out tomorrow like he did last week then. Yeah, we've got to say that I'm hoping that I would stay well away from you, Dylan, there, as I got a bit too overeager tonight. I completely misjudged my breaking point. It's absolutely shambles, wasn't it? And I do have a qualifying free ban for tomorrow. I'll be lucky if I even get near qualifying free. Up the inside goes Murphy. He passes up Farham, and good stuff indeed. Oh, he's going to stick his nose in there, but good stuff there from Farham. He recognised that, and Murphy up in 2-8 for this now. Good start there from Murphy. It is Farham in opposition. Young Tommy in 10 for this now. Young Tommy on a good is trying to come back for the fill as well, but look, Farham back on the inside, on the outside there, Murphy's on the inside, it's going to be a pinch point, and that is good racing there for Farham. Now retakes the position, good stuff indeed there. Farfish has got past Buckass as well. Murphy is just trying to go up the inside as well, but young Tommy is also involved as well. Where's FIFA? Oh goodness me, this is getting very, oh my word there, I thought he's going to lose his nose cone there. He is over the 10th position, young Tommy is down into 11th. Magnificent racing, absolutely great stuff indeed then. Action packed all the way in this Grand Prix at the moment. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Dylan just saying good luck to Silver then. Yes indeed, and I'm a bit beyond the comments at the moment there, guys. Goodness gracious me. Formula just now coming through the complete lap number, just coming through the complete lap number 4 as well. Equal saying Gordo is doing very well. He is indeed, isn't he? But at the moment he's a second and a half back from Curly at the moment. Curly's starting to find his feet, isn't he? He's 1.2 seconds away from Nigel at the moment, who is in the third position there. TK in second. A strong performance here from TK in that Alfa Romeo. Good stuff. As you can see, we've got a bit of starting to have a bit of a queue of cars up there as well. I think I've got a toothache coming. But enough about my teeth, and we should be more focused on the on what's going on here tonight. Goku Kakarot there. Good evening, guys. Hello, Goku. I hope you're well. And we're coming down the back street. Look, all the harvesting going on. Gordo has been over. Oh, and Gordo and Manon have come to blows there. And Manon has had to take a face action there. Look at this, and she is struggling to get back on the circuit. And Serious Mushroom there is got through. And goodness me, we only caught the end of that then, but Manon has dropped down into 7th position then. As I'm wondering if it's getting a bit too tight then, as Gordo is really struggling with the with the pace on that on the pace at the moment. Murphy's over to 8th position now, passes Farham, and good stuff indeed there. And look at this then. So Hop's given a jump then over the tires as well then. Murphy up into 8th position now. Lap 5 out of 28 here tonight. Cody is just dropped behind his teammate then, and there they are then. As these are the runners then who unfortunately have had some issues at the opening exchanges of the Grand Prix. Murphy's now at the front of this queue then. Farham's got a 3-second penalty along with Buckass as well. So Murphy's now at the front of this queue then. So now has he got the pace set to really start to fire up those soft tires. He's only one or two drivers to have the soft tires, and he's the only driver who started on the soft tires to remain on those soft tires. Farfus on the soft tires, and he's having to recover back from the field. There's a big gap between himself and Wilson, 14 seconds to be precise. And then we got Ayrton on the soft tires who's had to come in the pits there after having some issues then earlier on the Grand Prix. Parra has got past Buckhouse and moved up into 14th position as well. Buckhouse is struggling there, isn't he? As I think there's a wondering if those tires are a bit too hot at the moment now for Buckhouse, and he just needs to cool off at the moment. Yeah, he is struggling, isn't he? A very lively rear end and out of the final turn as well. And there then is coming back through the field. He is now up into 15th position now. Passes the Alfa Romeo. And yes, and so good something then. Buckhouse from down to 16th at the moment. And here is, as far as got a 3-second penalty then for his efforts at the moment. Now, young Tommy is just too far back at the moment. Look at this queue of cars. Murphy is still in this battle, isn't he? And now he's out of DRS range, but I think that was before the detection zone. No, it wasn't. Murphy is out of the detection zone. And yes, and so Murphy's going to be happy to be in front of these three drivers that are really fighting tooth and nail. It's a young Tommy there who is trying to get past FIFA Beef, but no dice at the moment. It's a great battle in between these three drivers. Impressive something. It's the bottom end of the points at the moment in time, isn't it? Back at the front then, Troy leads by 2 seconds out from TK in second. Nigel in third position. Steve and Bradfield are really fighting for all the for position here at the moment. And now Steve has got up as dropped down into a 90 position. We're on board there, and Bradfield is through. Then Buckhurst, oh goodness me, there's Buckhurst. I was just leaning across the circuit there, and they got DRS as well, and he is through. Then and Buckhurst said it's gone a bit wide. He's got a 3-second penalty as well. Ayrton trying to go on the inside then, but I think that it'd be very difficult to overtake there for Ayrton. Buckhurst going to let his teammate through, not quite of course, but Buckhurst is on the harder tyre, and he's really struggling then, isn't he, to really get on the power there. And Ayrton almost drove into the back of Buckhurst. We're on board of him, and just having a look there, it's going into the technical part of the lap as well. Well, there's our race leader there. Good stuff indeed. He's looking very serene out there at the moment, isn't it? Maldonado then is going to be a bit unhappy there. As unfortunately got a bit too close for comfort, didn't it, down the back straight. Dylan is saying a one-stop is possible. Soft runners in for medium tyres. Lap alone on 12 fed on the medium runners then from lap 16 and 17 for soft tyres. Last night we didn't have any one-stoppers, but we had a lot of safety cars, didn't we, last night? So Dylan might be onto a winner, and I've got to make a copy and paste that and put that into my file of facts for tomorrow. Welsh Maldonado is on the outside, and look at this. She's almost got past. She's got past Gordo as well. Oh goodness me! Up the outside, passes Gordo and moves up into a 6th position. Good stuff indeed. That Gordo then, 5th position. Gordo dropped down to 6th. Gordo has been showing with pace among us. He's done a great job though, hasn't he? Gordo very much fighting tooth and nail, listening for that 6th position there. Good stuff indeed. Bradfield now coming back through the field. He's passed Cody and moved up into 16th position there. Bradfield has said. Good stuff indeed. Then they're just coming under the hotel. I'm accelerating out, so I've just bit my lip. Ow. Goodness me, I'm out of practice. It's not, absolutely appalling stuff. I'm so injuring myself left, right, and centre here. I think Serious Russian, and if he wants to keep in Welsh Maldonado's wheel tracks, he needs to get past Gordo quite promptly here, doesn't he? As I think Maldonado might drive off into the distance now. Curly is now within the DRS zone of Nigel, and there he is, and there is Curly then. Of course, he's been revitalised, hasn't he, since him and German are very much teamed up there, and they're sharing the notes of each other. It's been really good stuff indeed there. Great move there by the Renault driver. Vintage is saying, I guess it was a very good move indeed, wasn't it? From Maldonado on Gordo as well. Curly is on the back of Nigel there, but at the moment he's too far back, but it might be the second DRS zone. There's 2 DRS zones there, one down this back straight and then one down the second back straight as well. Serious Mushroom is going to be very intrigued to get past Gordo down this down one of these DRS straights, but I think that Gordo is quite close to the back as FIFA Beefy has just got past Farham and moved up into 10th position as well. As oh, look at this, as Curry there going for a switcheroo there. Not quite. As look at this, and it's young Tommy. This is a great battle, isn't it? Farham is starting to fade slightly, I think, now with FIFA, and now young Tommy getting through there. And Farham is going for the switcheroo, and he's going on the inside. Oh gosh, there he's coming from a day late, $1 short. But fair play to him for not compromising the race of FIFA Beefy. And I wish I had talent like that, because unfortunately I really compromised my teammates' race in Brazil last week. But well done there to Farham there. He misjudged his braking point. It was a mistake for Farham, but he did a good job there not to make any damage on the Ferrari from what I can see there. I may not be able to see damage on that front into the pit side because Murphy. Is there damage on the Ferrari? I can't see any, and none for young Tommy either. Then Ayrton has just got past his relegation rival, moved up into 18th position. Ayrton has said Ayrton on the soft tyres. I think that see Ayrton, Buckhurst, Cody, Bradfield, Slayer, and Pyro and Farf will be hoping for a safety car of some kind in this point in this race so far. All 20 cars are still running at the moment, though, aren't they? Very good stuff indeed. Then as we're coming down into the to complete the first sector as well. Troy leads by 2 seconds now. Curly is still on the button, but Nigel's got a very slippery Ferrari, hasn't he? Murphy down behind his team in end, but Murphy is on the medium tyres, and Buckhurst has got a 3-second penalty. Murphy is coming out of the pits right behind his teammate Farf. So that's not really where Murphy wants to be, is it? But I'm wondering if they might play the team game potentially. Curly there right underneath the rear wing then of the Ferrari, but he had a compromised exit there out of the chicane there, and Curly there is going to really have to be getting his turbo out there in that Renault McLaren. This is the final time that McLaren be passed powered by Renault before they go back to the McLaren-Mercedes combination for next season. It just feels right. It sounds right, doesn't it, to have the McLaren-Mercedes combination. Maldonado has not gone into the distance, has it? Actually, because Gordo is very much keeping tabs on Maldonado's performance at the moment now. So very much put me in my place there, Gordo. It's good stuff indeed there. Fireman's got a 3-second penalty as well. Ayrton is now moving up the field quite nicely indeed there. He's now up into 17th position there. Murphy has got past Farf, and now he's up into 12th position there. Murphy is good stuff indeed there. As Steve and Cody. Oh, goodness me! And Steve on the inside there, but just about. Cody there just keeps it. Oh, gosh, they're almost touching each other. They are touching each other, and goodness gracious me, that. I know, wow. As Cody is down to 19th position now, as Steve is up into 18th position on the hard tires. I think that Steve, I don't expect into the pits comes a serious mushroom now. I don't expect Steve to come back in the pits on those hard tires. Perhaps I will be wrong on that occasion, but I'm sure he shouldn't come back into the pits. Curly then is now finding some pace in the McLaren as they were on board with Curly coming down the back straight. And let's see then, Nigel is going to be feeling the pressure now of the McLaren driver. Curly, as I said then the last couple of weeks, and is very much the man on form, isn't he? Apart from Troy, I think that Curly is absolutely a beast at the moment. He's on the inside. He's going on the inside. That's incredibly. That's a Ricardo-esque maneuver. But where's Nigel? Nigel's on the outside. I was looking at the wrong car. Nigel is on the outside, but Nigel should get the DRS detection zone here. And he does indeed then. So Curly is in front then, but Curly's got after a penalty attack from the Ferrari. Look at this, and he's going on the outside. So Curly there. It's just defending his finish there. Comes over to the racing line there and keeps his search this authority on the Ferrari driver. Nigel down into 4th position then. Curly up into 3rd then, and Nigel there getting a bit too heavy-handed on that throttle pedal. Serious Russian comes down in 11th position. Some good points moving on off of them for the Williams team here tonight. Good stuff indeed. 18 laps to go in this race at the moment. As you can see that the dawn is the day is turning into night. And young Tommy is all over the back of FIFA Beach on a good recovery drive after having it come in a cropper earlier on this qualifying session. Then Troy is now losing time then, because TK has found 0.2 of a second from somewhere on Troy at the moment. And there's no traffic at the moment. Into the pits comes Nigel and Gordo. Curly and Maldonado have stayed out. Then of course he was fighting with those two drivers, and young Tommy in the pits as well, and Farham as well. Of course, Wilson now, I think, is going to be trying to go an awful lot longer, isn't he? And there it is. The pit window is now open then for the medium tires. I'm just watching as Murphy is set the fast out of the race. Just watching the Ferrari of FIFA Beef, and he's going over those curbs as well. And now before he comes in to turn number 7, then Gordo then, who's just coming out of the pits as well. And there he is, and out right behind Murphy. Gordo is on the soft tyres now. Are those soft tyres going to get to the end? I don't think they will. Sarah then, who's also, there's Farham coming out of the pits as well. He's on the medium tyres. Farham is here's Bradfield also just coming out as well. Ayrton now on the soft tyres. Steve is now starting to gain on Ayrton, isn't he? That here comes look, TK is now within the same shot as the world champion. And my word, there is absolutely. I gotta say, TK is really putting his toe down here. Nigel does not want to be held up by Wilson, does he? As Wilson's on the hard tires, he's done 10 laps on those hard tires. Wilson, that's a lovely shot here from the helicam. As he is gaining, but I think he'll be too far back. Is Wilson going for a lunge there? No, not quite. Then Nigel is in 6th position, and he's got clear air. Nigel has now. Dylan saying that Curly is going to be a championship favourite for next season in silver. Yes, I do not disagree with that, and Curly is very much on the march, isn't he, at this stage of his career in ALR. Fantastic stuff. TK in the pits there, so he's going for the undercut here on Troy, and I gotta say, Troy is not having it all his own way. Remember that Troy can potentially break a record of tonight. Found the most Grand Prix wins in silver in silver's history. And if he wins here tonight, and TK in the pits, thrown on the medium tyres now until the end of the Grand Prix. FIFA is staying out then, and staying out at the moment. And TK is going to be out in front of Nigel then. So this is a crucial part of the Grand Prix now, isn't it? Young Tommy then 0.3 of a second away, 0.2 of a second away from far front. Yes, TK is out 2 seconds in front, and that is good stuff indeed. Then young Tommy is going on the outside of Farf. He is on the outside. Oh, and he gives Farf a nudge there, and Farf spins off the course. And oh goodness me, then. And Farf does a lovely matrix style, getting back into the Grand Prix, getting back into the race. But Farf is going to be a very unhappy chappy, isn't he? As I think that I wonder if young Tommy there. Oh my goodness me! And Farf Finn Slayer come to blows in a major way. It's on a safety car. I'm not sure if it will be or not then, but it's in the line of fire, I would say that. It is a safety car in this race, and that is a huge shunt indeed, isn't it? And goodness me, and Farfare, who's just had a half a spin, and now all of a sudden is not done too well at all. Slayer, the first star out of the race, and he's had a couple of issues at the start of the race, and now unfortunately Farf and him have come to blows into the pits. There comes Buckass and changing onto the medium tires here. Buckass is in car number 9 in the AlphaTauri, and this safety car is going to be very interesting indeed then. As just on board as I look into the pits going Troy. Is this going to help TK or Troy? I think this might be helping Troy as the race leader of the world champion in the pits, and one half of the Constructors champion as well. Welsh Maldonado is I think a bit too close here. She's going to lose time, I think, to the Renault car, but look, she's slowing right down there, so that is a very that's a very shrewd move there from the second half of the Constructors world champions. Troy coming out of the pits now is the Renault mechanics. They're still getting in position there for Welsh Maldonado, going onto the soft tires and she's coming out now. Nigel, where is TK? TK is he going to be out front? There's Whiskers, but look at that, then Troy is out in front there. Safety car came in the wrong time for TK. Same with Curly as well. Unfortunately, both those drivers lost out as now Murphy in a 7th position. Maldonado's dropped all the way down to 8th position then. That is a horror show for the second Renault, then. That's just unfortunate, isn't it? Fireman 10th position. We've got pit stop drama then, so Bradfield in the pits. Well, Pyro coming in the pits out front on the medium tires. He's coming out of the pits now in the race then. As Farf is also coming into the pits, and I'm going to change the nose cone now as Farf, unfortunately, and Slayer came the blows out, didn't they? Going down the hill there. We got Ayrton in the pits while going on the medium tires. That Ayrton is until the end of the Grand Prix. So then Buckass is just a bit further behind at the moment. So Ayrton out in 16th position there. Remember that this is a straight relegation fight now. I would foresee between Steve and Ayrton then, but we'll keep on top of that and see how we go there. Just catch some of the comments then, shall we? As hello Sam, welcome. Dylan saying in. So Vincent saying that Farf may be raging with that one, and for Slayer saying Farf lost control at turn 3. Me in here was so close I went behind him and couldn't avoid it there. Yes, we was on board there, and I think we caught the end of it there. So unfortunately Slayer was an innocent victim there as a Farf just have a half spin in turn 1, unfortunately. It's a double whammy there for Farf. Dylan was saying then. So Wilson to pit then, perhaps, and as Wilson pit, he has pit. He's gone to the soft tires now as Steve braked T3 lap 1 in front of me, and caused to go back and got a lot of damage off Ayrton, unfortunately. So it looks like a concertina effect in turn 1 as well. So Slayer had a bit of a difficult opening race then. Opening a couple of laps here in Abu Dhabi, and unfortunately didn't go too well there. Sam is asking then, so the soft runners will have to pill again then? That's a very intriguing question, Sam. Unfortunately, I don't have the answer. I think they'll have to pit again, as we've got a lot of running around. Murphy's in the pits there, as Murphy is coming to the pits, and I'm wondering if Murphy's going to throw on another set of medium tires until the end of the race there. 14 laps to go in this race, and will the soft tires do 14 laps? And they will have lower fuel tanks there. Murphy don't see the thing, so he's going on to the medium tires now. So Murphy there on the medium tires until the end of the Grand Prix. I think that might be your answer there. Suddenly, because I think that Murphy would have gone to the soft tires surely. But Wilson looking very strong there. Unfortunately, he had a appalling qualifying there, no fault of his own there, and now he's back up into a very strong position as well. On board then with Ayrton, who has just got out behind behind Murphy, and who's just got in between Steve and Murphy as well. Goodness me! And look at this there. So this is going to be a very intriguing end to this race. And we're on lap 14 then, so a safety car for the second time in 2 nights. They're half distance here in this Grand Prix. Let's take stock. Troy leads the Grand Prix. I think he has to go. I think me and Sam are singing from the same hymn sheet. I think they both have to come. I think all the soft runners have to come into the pits then. That's my foreseeing anyway. Because softs for 14 laps will be around a 1 minute 40 track will be risky. Maybe they'll just go with it then. Possibly, but they will be in puncture territory at the race. Dylan and Sam there, I think, are saying in the soft tires, it's possible, but it's a big risk, isn't it? To say at least there. Of course, there he had. Remember, at the end of the race of the Monaco Grand Prix in gold, then Emerson was a couple laps away, wasn't he, from winning that race before he had puncture as well. That incredible Monaco Grand Prix. So Troye on the soft tires, Curly on the soft tires as well, Gordo on the softs with Maldonado, FIFA, Wilson, and Cody all on the soft tires. Everyone else on the medium, all the hard tires. Bradfield is going the hard tires. We'll see how that one pays out then. So Troye leads. TK in second position at the moment. Troye's going to AI. Third position is Nigel. Fourth position is Curly on a strong race there. The top four at the moment. Cyrus Bushman in fifth position. Gordo in sixth. Maldonado in seventh. FIFA Beefy is in eighth position. Ninth position is Young Tommy with Farham in 10th. And Wilson in 11th position. 12th position is Pyro. 13th is Bradfield. Steve in 14th with Murphy 15th. Ayrton 16th. Farfin 17th. Cody 18th. Buckass in 19th. That is your 19 cars still running. Sarah Alta. Safety car is in and we're going green. Oh my word, there I completely missed it. And let's go then. We're about to get ready. Farham's got a penalty for severe collision with Young Tommy. We're back green here in this race. And let's get going. And our lap 15 in the second half of the Grand Prix is now underway then. Nigel is running the gearbox of TK as well. And TK and Nigel on the medium tires. And they should get to the end of the race on these medium tires. But we'll soon find out. Steve is very much right underneath the rear wing out of Bradfield as well. No, he isn't. He's side by side. He's side by side. He is side by side with Bradfield. Murphy is coming on him as well. Murphy's coming at me, steaming down the inside. On the inside, Murphy is in. And he almost got past Maldonado and Gordo is also in. Farham and Pyro. I don't know who to look at. And Maldonado's free, but FIFA's also. Oh my goodness me, there's going to be free abreast going down into turn number 8. I think it is on the circuit. And look at this. And this is. Oh my gosh, they're good. Oh my goodness me. And now then, we got FIFA going on the inside. So I thought I was going to be an airplane crash. How do they avoid each other is beyond me. It's about talent, isn't it, in this race? Fantastic stuff indeed then. Ayrton's got a 3-second penalty. Maldonado then is going to have to defend now from FIFA Beefy. We're back on board now with FIFA Beefy going on the outside. Maldonado just sticking to her line there. Very good stuff indeed. Wilson is up in 9th position again. Past Young Tommy, who is dropping down to 10th position. Wow. And oh gosh, Aaron, we've got something going on in the back there. We've had a couple of drivers jump up and down. Wilson is up the inside there of Gordo. I think it was. Gordo is a run off the circuit there, side, and Young Tommy as Gordo is being pushed and pulled out the way there, and in the Haas car indeed that. Oh, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Goodness me, Troy, that's the fastest up of the race at the moment. As we're on that lap at 16 of this incredible Grand Prix. Vintage saying Bradfield on the hard tires. That's he's on the hard tires. Yes, very interesting stuff indeed, isn't it, for Bradfield. Sam has asked how am I feeling for tomorrow. Appalling, to be honest, and I'm not very good around this track, especially around this corner here, because I think I'll be in the hedge. We've got Steve go for the switcheroos up the inside. He passes Farham. No, he doesn't. He's side by side. Murphy is just viewing the scenery here, isn't he? As Steve are now up into 12th position there, and Steve is now starting to really put the hammer down, isn't he, on the medium tires there. And this is and of course Steve, we haven't seen Steve in qualifying. He looked strong, didn't he? And here tonight in the race, he's very much looking up for it, isn't he? And look at this, and as Farham is going on the outside, but I think Steve has it. Oh, does he? Because Farham has come from a day late and a dollar short there. That is going to get tight then. Oh my word there. Where's Murphy? Murphy is a bit too far back to capitalise at the moment there. So Curly at the moment there is quite close to the back of Nigel, but he's not close enough at the moment there. Farham is still very much keeping Steve very honest at the moment, isn't he? But as we go down into the big breaking point of a turn at 12 and 13, look at that. We've got a great view of the fuse here from the Alfa Romeo of Farham then. Oh my word there. Very close racing indeed then. Good stuff. Lap 16. Dylan saying, Bradfield got swamped there, and unfortunately didn't he, on those on those hard tires. Unfortunately, Pyro has now really started to come into his own here in this race. He's doing a good job there for the Haas cars. Of course, Haas are in the mid pack of the Silver Constructors Championship, so more points there. We very much welcome from that team win there. We got Sam saying an interesting safety car restart. TK had to pit again because he started from the medium tires. So TK, yes. So TK TK may be going for a very short final stint then on those soft tires. We'll soon find out then. In terms of penalties in the top 8, I've not got no penalties at all. 9th and 10th for Pyro and young Tommy does that. Farham and at Farfab penalties. So does Bradfield, Cody, Ayrton and Buckass then. As Buckass is in the pits then in the Alpha Tauri. Curly is gaining then, is he? He's not shy of an overtake, is he? He's not having a look this time around though, is he? He just stays back there, just viewing the scenery. Pyro is up the inside, passes young Tommy. This is Pyro's debut here tonight in ALR, and doing a good job, isn't he, Pyro? So he's up to 9th position down, and he didn't take part in qualifying, but tonight's race is fantastic. Nigel, it's got yellow flags, and Buckass has got some issues there as he's exceeded the pit lane there, and Nigel is up into, Curly's up into third position here. He passes Nigel, and Curly then once again showing his speed here tonight. His next target is TK in the Alfa Romeo, and TK is on the medium tires at the moment. Oh gosh, I've got to take a breather at the moment. My word, that I got to say, I was talking about the gym earlier on, and I don't need to go to the gym, do I? I just need to basically commentate on ALR 4 days a week. Then it's very much, I got to say, it's very much a workout, isn't it? Commentate on these races, fantastic. Wilson is absolutely flying through the field, quite nicely indeed. There, going across the line once again. Then Wilson is doing a absolutely magnificent job out there at the moment, and he's having a look there down on the inside of FIFA. But at the moment there's no dice, and Wilson is very much all over the back of the Ferrari. Look at this. Oh my goodness me. Then is that going side by side. Wilson is through. He's off the track. He's on the track again. Then Wilson is up the inside for FIFA. Slamming the door shut there on the Red Bull's nose cone there. And FIFA there. Very defending, isn't he? As Curly's already out of the DRS range. And Nigel, fantastic stuff there. And now we got Pyro, who has been watching that unfold. And now he is going to be interested. Gordo is also under the pressure now as Gordo's dropping back. I'm not sure what's happening for Gordo. I think Gordo's on these 6 about soft tires. And I think that they may have had their day. And Steve is now into 11th position there. Good 17th there for Steve, and he's on the cusp for the point set. And of course, Steve is in the relegation battle tonight with Everton, wasn't he? So I figured about then Steve is looking likely to stay in that silver for next season. On board with Farham then, as he is just dropping back slightly, but now he's going for it again. Now those soft tires are strong in, and one of Gordon may have to come to the pits in the not too distant future and go on to the mediums till the end of the race. Farham on the outside, lovely shot here. Look, there's Gordo. My goodness me! Oh, Gordo, they're getting his elbows up. Murphy's up the inside, passes Farham, and away he goes. Then is Farham going to go up and under? No, he is, and then Murphy on the Buckass is off the circuit in the same place where Slayer's gone as well. Buckass is out of the race, and it's going to be a safety car, and then there's going to be one more twist of the tail then. As Nigel's got a 3-second penalty there for his efforts, and the car is still still there, and there's no safety car yet. But I think that we would have seen a safety car by now, wouldn't we? Hopefully that car will be moved, and we'll be back racing. And we are back racing, and the car has been moved, and now we're back racing once again. Farfar's in the pit. I wonder if Farfar's expecting some kind of safety car, because that's a bit out of sync at the moment, isn't it, for Farf? But he's in the pit nonetheless. And back at the front then, Troy's got a 4.1 second gap then, but I think it's Curly on the ascendancy at the moment as he is down the back straight. He's 6/10 of a second behind TK at the moment now, and Curly once again then, like in Brazil last week, of course he got a second position last week, Curly did. I think that another position like that today, he's going to be jumping up as it could be up into his highest 7th position here at the moment. Good stuff indeed there for Curly. A very good end then to the season for Curly. Really impressive stuff. Murphy has just got up into 12th position there. He passes Gordo. Gordo's dropping like a stone here. Farham is coming up from very late, but he hasn't got past just yet. Back here as well, I don't know where to look. This is absolutely fantastic. Oh my goodness me, got Ferrari who's just about slowing down, isn't he? Farham has got past Gordo now. I think that Gordo is those soft tires that are not happy anymore, are they? And but look, Gordo's coming back. Alan then just on board with Wilson, and who got run out to drive from FIFA Beefy. FIFA's gone wide, and Wilson's going to go up the inside. Is he? No, yes. And then I've got to say, you need a lot of help to go up the inside there. Goodness gracious me then. as we go under the hotel once again, and we got Gurman saying, "Come on, Curly." Buckhouse saying, "Sorry, folks, was trying to sow drama damage, but lost it. Turn 4 and 5. We'll come back strong." Got no, not a problem at all. Buckhouse said, "I think you did a great job today on your debut tonight. I'm very impressive indeed there for Buckhouse." But unfortunately, he did retire from his first ALR race, but nothing to be ashamed of, my good man. Then very good stuff indeed. Steve is now into the point set as well, and so Steve at the moment there is gaining now. Is now 3 points in front of Ayrton in terms of that relegation scrap, isn't he? On board with Wilson then, who's still giving FIFA a run for his money then. So Favre in the pits, Gordo in the pits, well, Serious Mush is also coming in the pits, and they've all gone soft tires now, with Favre's got an extra penalty at this moment in time then. FIFA is trying to get the slipstream now, as we're on board with for Wilson. Look at this, he's gaining, he's gaining, he's like a freight train, he is up into his expedition now. But FIFA is going to go on the inside. He has the inside there, but Will Wilson had the momentum down. He has the momentum there. I think that, and look at this, and his Pyro is through as well. Curly is going up the inside as well then, but I've got to go back to here, so I don't know what's going on then. Oh, magnificent stuff indeed, and I'm flicking left and right then. All I know is that FIFA's having to 6th position there. Oh, but Pyro is back on the outside in 7th position. Oh, goodness me. Oh, this is getting incredible. Where's Wilson? He's up the inside. We had a smasher with Mark Webber and Maldonado, I think, in 2012. Oh, incredible stuff indeed then. Absolutely a mega stuff. Pyro's up in the 7th position. He is a driver of the day candidate. Say we're on board with Pyro. Absolutely fantastic stuff, and he is flying through. Oh, brilliant stuff indeed then. Slayer is rooting for rooting for Maldonado and Wilson. Well, now Maldonado's in 4th position. Curly's in the pits then, and also Wilson, who's in 8th position. And Curly is the first, and the top runners coming into the pits then, and so he's going for the undercut here. Curly is he going to be able to get out in some fresh track space then? Well, we'll find out that as everyone on the medium tires, when the medium tires under the safety cars now jumping up the order, and so Ayrton's in 9th position, but Steve is in 7th position. We'll keep an eye on that as going forward then. So where is Curly going to come out? And he's out in 12th position then. So Curly then is going to have to really pull his toe down now as he comes out there behind Cody, and Cody there, and Curly's going to side with down the inside. He sent it, and Cody couldn't repel the attack. He's done 7 ups on the soft tires, Cody has there, and I think he might be straight there. Pyro is up into 5th position at the moment now, and I gotta say, I think that I'm not sure what the strategy Pyro is on the moment, but Pyro and Nigel are looking very strong at the moment. And TK, I think we're getting, I'm sure that someone said in the comments that the TK started on the race on the medium tires then, and FIFA on the outside then, and Pyro on the inside. Oh gosh, it's getting very, very hair and scare here, is there? And now then FIFA is still got 6th position. Gordon's got a 3-second penalty for his efforts, and 21 out of 28 here. Then the laps are starting to count down to the end of the season here in silver, and I have no earthly idea what's going to happen. Curly, as Dylan said, Curly has gone and sent it here. Oh, amazing stuff indeed. We've got a lot of views here tonight. Thank you very much, guys, for keeping to tabs for this one. And look at this, and Serious Russia wants to get by Cody as quickly as possible here, because he's going to be losing time. Oh, he's going to be losing hand over fist at Pyro and FIFA, and they're into the pits, and Pyro stays, and Nigel's in the pits well, and there's a lot of pit activity. Troy is staying out, then Pyro up in the 2nd position, stay up in the 3rd position. My goodness me, Steve is having a magnificent race, and Murphy in 4th. TK is coming out of the pits now. Marnodo's also in the pits well. Ayrton is up into 5th position then. TK is coming out of the pits. Curly is up into 6th position, but look at how much time Curly has gained out of Ayrton. And TK, and Curly has passed TK and moves up into 6th position, but TK is up into 5th. He's going for a run down into turn number 7 as well, or 5 or 4, something like that. So TK would like to have got out in front then, so that just shows the power of the undercut. Curly will have a DRS off the back of Ayrton's car as well, and here he comes, and yes, they've got it now, haven't they? So coming down the back straight, and 22 out of 28 here. Oh, magnificent something. Could be a runner 1-2 there for him, as Curly is going up the inside. That's an amazing overtake there up the inside, and what a move. He just sent it, Curly did. That is fantastic. Oh, absolutely amazing stuff indeed there. Curly just sent it down the inside. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Ayrton there I think might be using the DRS there from Curly just to keep just to keep up the speed there. Steve is now 6 tenths a second behind Pyro, but Pyro does have a penalty. Troy is still out there on those soft tires, then on those soft tires as well. I'm struggling to speak at the moment. TK is all over the back of Ayrton, and can the TK get through? Look at how much time he's losing then. Ayrton there, of course, is on very old sort of medium tires now, and because of that, TK is and because look how much time TK has lost, almost a second there to Curly in the second split time alone now, and we have got a lot of dice in here. Troy is in the pits then. And Cody, oh goodness me, Wilson's just, oh good go, my goodness me, and Cody and Wilson have come to blows there, and Cody's damaged the car, and Wilson has damaged the car as well, oh goodness me, and Maldonado has just got up into 8th position. She passes Bradfield, and Sirius Mushroom all over the back as well now as the soft runners are starting to come through the field quite nicely indeed then, and we got a Ferrari of Nigel also in that battle as well. Troy has come out as second in front of Curly, very close to the batting. We might have a replay of Brazil from last race. Magnificent stuff, man. It's going to be the last time we can this is going to be the last time we may see Troy and Curly battling then for next season potentially then, but my goodness me then, what we've got to enjoy then, haven't we? Gordo and FIFA are side by side as well. Gordo has just come out of the pits. Ayrton is just dropped down to 8th position. Maldonado has just got past him as well as that Ferrari there was getting very close, getting very dangerously close to the back of the Williams, and now Sirius Merchant then, who is right underneath the rear wing of Bradfield as well, and look at this. There's the soft runners are really steaming through lap 23 out of 28, and more Wills as Sirius Rush there I think was going to go for the dummy there, but I think that Bradfield there parked his car in an absolutely beautiful spot on the circuit there. Very good stuff indeed there. So Cardboy, do the medium runners need to pit then? I don't think they do, and oh my goodness me, I don't think they do then, so the top three do not need to pit at the moment, and now we got Sirius Mushroom who is having an opposition, and Nigel, can he get past as well? Nigel's having a bit of a tough time then under the oh my goodness, underneath the hotel as well. Bradfield is not giving up though, is he? He's the 9 laps on those hard tires, but I think they're starting to fade, aren't they? Bradfield down into 11th position, unfortunately. What a mammoth defensive task there from Bradfield, but he comes into the pits then, and young Tommy's got a 3-second penalty for his efforts then, and Steve, there's a yellow flag then, and Wilson has gone into the pit wall there, Wilson, oh no, and Wilson there, oh goodness me then, and Wilson was one of the drivers then that was on the soft tires then, that was coming through the field quite nicely indeed then. Pyro leads on his debut tonight then, but Steve is coming at him hammer and Thompson. This is the, this is of course, this is what the Steve we'd like to see, isn't it? We haven't seen much of this Steve, have we? We seen a flash of Steve in the last season, didn't we, of this, but this season as well, he's very much showing what he can do, and Steve is now very much all over the back of Pyro, of course, on his debut, but Steve, of course, hasn't got any penalties at all. Troy now is on in the rear wing of Murphy then, and Troy is he passes Murphy up into third position then, and Troy, who's looking, it looks like he has the legs at the moment, doesn't he, over him. Curly's dropped to almost 3 seconds back somewhere along the lines then, so Troy looking very happy on these soft tires. The question that we've got now is who is going to win the race? Is it going to be between Steve? Is it going to be between Troy then, with 2 seconds then, with 5 laps to go, and Steve very much running out of almost run out of track there, my goodness me. We go before coming into turn at 20 and at 21 as well. Pyro leads, second is Steve, Troy in third position, Murphy in fourth, and Curly in fifth position. Troy is set to fast out of the race, he's coming, there he is in the background. 6th position is TK, 7th is Maldonado, 8th position is Sirius Mushroom, Nigel in 9th, Ayrton in 10th position then, 11th position is young Tommy, FIFA in 12th, and 13th is Gordo with Farham in 14th position there, 15th is Farf, 16th Bradfield, Cody 17th, Wilson in 18th position. Incredible stuff indeed then. Doing the same, Pyro's on a fantastic race, he is indeed then, he started 19th on the grid, he is up in the lead, he is in the Grand Prix now, isn't he? He does have a penalty for his efforts. Let's take a look at the penalties. 3 seconds for Pyro, for Murphy, for Curly, for Nigel, for Ayrton, for Tommy and Gordo, 9 seconds for Farham, for 6 seconds for Farf, and 6 seconds for Wilson. Everyone else has 3-second penalties, and they're Constantine up once again then. TK is very quick at this moment in time then, and Curly is struggling, isn't he, on these soft tires that Curly is at the moment. There's McLaren is not liking those soft tires, and Troy is going to go on the outside of Steve, so Steve is going to send up the inside. He's sending up the inside then of Pyro, but Pyro's not having any of it then, and TK has got past Curly. There he is, he's up into 5th position now, but this is still a very very strong performance. Steve and Curly and TK could still very much be on the podium here as the soft tires are quick. And now then it's, oh gosh, Troy and Foe's got on the inside. He is on the inside. It's contact then. Him and Steve come the blows there. And Troy and Steve have hit each other. And oh goodness me, and Steve has dropped down into fourth position there. He is going to be a very unhappy chappy there, Steve. It's Troy there. Unfortunately, he had so much more grip, didn't he? He tipped Steve into a spin there. Troy did 26 out of 28 now. Oh, this race then, and Steve is going to be a bit unhappy, isn't he, about that one? Because that's also put him in the clutches and the soft runs of TK and Curly is right there with Martin and Nigel not too far behind either. Troy is 7/10 of a second back at the moment, and TK is all over the back of Steve now. Then he is very close to the back of Steve. Look at this, and he's having a look. Then Steve, can he defend? And he's got, and Steve has been hit again, and that's twice in the matter of corners there. So Steve is going to be absolutely apoplectic with this, and that is twice in a row that Steve has been hit. And that is, oh dear. Ayrton's got another 3-second penalty. That could cost him his positioning in silver tonight. Then unfortunately for Ayrton, he's still in the points though, isn't he? Steve's dropping down the order, no fault of his own there. He's been hit twice unfortunately there, and that is not good at all, is it? And Troy is now up into the lead of the Grand Prix. He passes Pyro, he takes the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with 3 laps to go. What a magnificent performance over Troy, but of course he did have the incident there unfortunately with himself and Steve. Murphy is very much now under the caution now from TK and Curly, and Maldonado is only 2 seconds back as well. Nigel is now the next. Now Steve's going to be next defensive strategy ploy, isn't it? Oh my word, that's what an incredible end to the Silver Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then. So just back on board then with TK, and Troy is now almost out of DRS already with Pyro. Magnificent stuff indeed then. TK's just got to make sure he's got so much more grip, but Curly is coming at him as well then, and Ayrton dropping down to 12th position there as Ayrton's late surge then. Unfortunately he's tumbling down the order now. TK and Curly have got to be mindful that Murphy has got old tyres on, hasn't he there, so they've got to be careful then, as unfortunately Troy has found out, and I think that also TK found out as well when he tipped Steve into a spin earlier on then. Steve unfortunately got hit twice there, so just on board now. Just back on board once again, and so we're coming down into turn 7 as well. TK then is look at him, he's pushing Murphy out of turn 7 now. Gordo's back in the pits, and so Gordo having a bit of a nightmare final racing. What has been a really strong season. TK up into a third position, passes Murphy. Curly then is on the cusp of a podium as well potentially. Curly of course doesn't have any penalties, so he needs to get within 3 seconds of Pyro. Oh my goodness me. Oh, sorry. Oh, my word. Nigel has got past Steve, and Steve dropping down to 8th position then as Nigel back on the 7th. This has not been kind to Nigel as at the traffic, but as the traffic here tonight in this second half of the Grand Prix, as Nigel just tumbling down the order as well. Back on board then, and Maldonado not catching up as quickly as well. I thought she would be, and she's still 10 seconds out. Just like I say that, she's taken 2/10 of a second out. Curly and Murphy here. Oh my word then. But she's running out of time, she's running out of laps, isn't she, with 2 laps to go, as we're beyond the final lap at the end of this one. Then goodness me, this race has flown by, hasn't it? Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. Troy then 2.5 seconds away now, so Troy's going to go for his 12th Grand Prix win, and that's a record in silver, his 5th Grand Prix win in a row. Of course he's got 1 more lap to go though, hasn't he? And Waller, well, he's earned this one, hasn't he? And a fantastic race there from Troy, and he's going to cap off silver in style. And back on board with Curly once again. And of course Curly does have a penalty, doesn't he, for his efforts. I think I must have flashed up recently, or if I just missed it. But Curly there, I think that like Nigel, it hasn't been very kind to him, has it? This run at this race, has it? Unfortunately. And now coming down the back straight, Curly, of course, if he gets past Murphy there, he will be in a de facto 4th position there. But Maldonado's got no penalties at all, so she could leapfrog both of them here. And look at this, as Curly is up in the 4th position. Maldonado could be up in the 4th though by the end of this one. Oh goodness me then. So look at this then. So Maldonado is within that 3-second window there, so she could be up to 4th position here. Magnificent race out from Maldonado. And of course, she doesn't really want Murphy in her way though, does she? When we come to the technical part of that, which is coming up right now. That new helmet design is absolutely working wonders. Stuff indeed. Then Killer Pitbull is going to be number 12, and Vintage is saying it's going to be 5 wins in a row. How many race wins has Troy got this season, Sean? Troy will be on his 11th Grand Prix win. This will be his 12th Grand Prix win, his 5th Grand Prix win in the world. He is the world champion of ALR Silver, and Troy is going to break the record of silver as well. The current record of wins in silver is 11. Troy is going to win number 12 tonight, and Troy caps off the season in style with winning the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, win number 12, a new record in silver, and what a way to finish off the season, and a magnificent end there for Troy. Of course, it got a bit too nip and tuck there between himself and Steve, but fantastic stuff towards the end there. Troy, what a performance there. Win number 12 in the silver career as well. Absolutely fantastic, and 5 Grand Prix wins in a row before he heads off into gold next season. And what a way to prime himself, what a way to prepare himself ready for the top flight of ALR next season. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Troy, and really impressive to say the least. And, wow, that was a really good final race, wasn't it? Fantastic stuff indeed then. But Pyro, on his debut, gets on the podium. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Pyro. Very good stuff indeed. Maldonado did jump Curly, and Murphy in the end. And Steve missed out by some position by 9,000 a second there. That's Steve's first point that's his first point since the Monaco Grand Prix for Steve. And so he just about avoids relegation. That's not there, Steve. And so he stays in silver for another season, but he's shown his class here tonight, and hopefully we can see more of that in next season as well. But Steve finished 8th in the end in the Grand Prix. Good stuff indeed. Serge Mushman in 9th finish, and FIFA in 10th finish as well. Unfortunately, this would be Ayrton's last Grand Prix in silver for a while then, so we're just waiting for Wilson there, who is doing some donuts as well to finish off the season. And he's I think that he finished 4th in the season last season, didn't he? But and this season I think he's a little further down then, but it's been a very tough season, wasn't it? But Wilson there just doing a couple of donuts and to finish off as well. But yeah, Troy, the Grand Prix winner then. Fantastic stuff indeed then for Troy, as we mentioned then. That was his 12th Grand Prix win of his career and of the season. 5th Grand Prix win in a row. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Troy. Fantastic stuff. That means that he won over 50% of the Grand Prix, didn't he? In over 50% of Grand Prix in ALR Silver tonight. Fantastic stuff then for Troy. Just going with the comments then as well, then before we go through the final classification. Slayer saying congratulations to Troy for the win and the top 3. Troy is now the most ever wins in a single season end for silver. Magnificent stuff indeed. Serious Russian World final race. Boy, looking forward to racing Troy next season in gold then. I'm looking forward to that as well. Becca needs to investigate for double DRS. And, oh, goodness me. We've also got Fulham saying well done to Marshall Arnaldo. Built and Matt then. Great race that was. That was fantastic. Really enjoyed that from Serious Mushroom. Sam saying now on to bronze and Cobalt. Ayrton demoted. And that's a bit disappointing, that is, for Ayrton. But of course, would he rather get relegated and lose that? Would he rather stay in silver and lose that win, or rather he win that race in Italy and get relegated to bronze? I think he'll rather have that win, wouldn't he? Let's take a final look at the classification, shall we, from the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Final race of the silver season. And for season 3 then comes to a close with a fantastic performance there. Troy, his 12th Grand Prix win the season. I keep saying it, but it was magical stuff, wasn't it? Last 5 races in his silver career, he won. Second place there for TK. Great drive from TK in the end. And I think that the traffic and the last stint there was a bit unkind to him. Pyro from 19th to 3rd. Driver of the day on his debut. Magnificent. Maldonado in full position there. No opponents there for Maldonado. Brilliant drive from 10th to 5th. 5th position for Curry there. A bit unlucky. Same with TK with the traffic, I feel. Murphy in 6th. Nigel 7th. Steve in 8th position. Unfortunately would have been finishing a lot higher up, Steve would, if he didn't get involved in some instance in the end there. 9th is Serious Russian. 10th is FIFA Beefy. Young Tommy just outside the points left. Ayrton 12th. Farm 13th. Bradfield 14th. Far from 15th. Gordo in 16th. Cody 17th. Wilson in 18th. Gordo gets fast up as well. Retirements was Buckass and Jake the Slayer then. Only 2 retirements in this final race here in Abu Dhabi. And Well, that was a good race, wasn't it? Fantastic stuff indeed. Then in the and of course, remember we got bronze tomorrow night. Then where the final race of the season. And Williams still needs to win the constructors championship. Of course, I think they're 1 point away from winning the constructors championship. So hopefully Dylan is on his A game tomorrow. Albeit he only needs 1 point, and he's got a useless teammate, hasn't he? And then COBALT as well. And we've got the constructors championship as well to also cap off. Let's go in the into the interviews now, and let's talk to I think Troy is in here. Troy, are you in here?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. You've equaled, you've bettered the most wins in a single season in silver with 12 Grand Prix wins. You've had 5 Grand Prix wins in a row. I didn't mention that up until today. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. The end of your silver career has been magical. But tonight you must. It was a very difficult race. Talk us about it.
Yeah, that safety car messed it up a bit. I didn't know whether to go for like hards or whatever. I was very worried about some of the medium runners. I knew that there were some medium runners that could take them to the end, and yeah, that's where so there were like a couple of drivers ahead on the mediums, but as soon as I boxed for the second stint on the softs, we catched up pretty quickly to them. And yeah, unfortunately I got into an incident with Steve, and I'm very sorry for that. That was mostly my bad, or it was my bad probably, so yeah, I'm sorry for that one as well. But yeah, it is what it is, and I'm just gonna keep focusing on the next season now.
And of course, next season is when you go into gold then. But I'm really looking forward to seeing you in gold. But before that, then just reflect on your season then with 12 Grand Prix wins this season. Your 15th podium as well and 22 race starts. You've been absolutely mega stuff indeed. Only 2 times you've not finished in the points then. So 20 times you've been in the points. That is a bit about consistency. But I've got to say, the second half of the season, you've really took off then. In the second half of the last season, you've literally won, I think I'm just counting up now, you've had 6 Grand Prix wins and 11 races. My goodness me, that's over a 50% strike rate. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt that I've had the pace throughout the season, but it's just my consistency and probably lack of mistakes this second half of the season that's improved. But yeah, there are still a few races here and there that I'm disappointed with and that I felt that I could have got a better result at, but yeah, it's mostly the championship that counts. So yeah, I'm happy with the season overall.
Talk us about. Have you got a highlight for the for this season? Then I'm just looking through your results. I would say that Monaco probably is one of the highlights for me because you was absolutely pretty immense in that race. Sorry, TK. I think that that was one of the highlights that comes to mind straight away. But have you got any personal highlights from this season?
Yeah, I was thinking about Monaco as well. I felt that I had a very good drive there, and I felt that if I could have picked one race on this game this year that I've been the most happy with, it would probably be that. I felt that I didn't put the foot wrong, but I'd say also my first win was very memorable. So, that battle with Gamer almost throughout the whole race, and that was a very good one as well. So those two in particular, I would say.
Oh, no, of course, it was a very wet race as well, wasn't it, in Vietnam? So I think it was a wet race, wasn't it? Goodness me, it feels like such a long time ago. But you and Gamer, it was a preview, wasn't it, of what was to come this season. Fantastic stuff indeed, Troy, and magical stuff indeed. This season's going to live long in the memory, and you are now in the record books as well. And you're the 3rd ever world champion for silver. It sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds amazing, man. And I just want to thank you all for making this happen, really. It's been great, and I want to thank all the admins and everything because I know how hard you work for us to be able to race. And yeah, I just want to put in some good performances to repay you back, guys.
I know all the admins appreciate that. Thank you very much, Troy. And of course, Silver and yourself and the Silver drivers have made it quite easy as well because I think Silver is so competitive and somehow your lack of incidents is pretty impressive indeed. But thank you very much, Troy. Fantastic season here tonight. Here the whole season as well. Magical stuff. No DNFs. Brilliant. Let's come to I think it was TK that finished second today, wasn't it? Goodness me, they got all jumped up towards the end there. But TK, you've had a pole position in that Monaco Grand Prix as we just raised earlier on then. But I think that this is your best result of your career in silver, if I'm not very much mistaken. I'm not very much mistaken, actually. So this is your best result of your career in silver tonight, then. You very much had the pace right from the get-go in qualifying tonight.
It's funny. Me and Troy, for I don't know, like the last 12 races have been in a party together. And I told him before we even started quali today, I said, I hate this track. Like, I don't want to do it. And then like quali really surprised me. Like my Q1 time, I think I ran like a 34.7. So I'm like, shit. Like, and then I saw, like I was P13, I think, at the end of Q1. I'm like, man, this is going to be a long race. Well, and then like I went out on for my mediums in Q2 and I saw like a couple of the fast guys were below me, but then like I saw Troy and Nigel above me, which whatever, like I know they're quick, so like if I have a good race strategy, I can keep up with them. But like Q3, that last lap that I ran in Q3, I just want to put it out there that if I could learn how to qualify, I would have had more than one pole this season.
You did. You
Um,
had pole position on one of the hardest tracks of the season in Monaco.
mhm.
You definitely know how to pull it on pole position there. I've got to say. But in the race as well, then you very much nip and tell throughout the race. Then, but towards the end, then when you had to come back through the traffic there on the drivers on the old medium tires, do you think that's what cost you the race today?
No, honestly, I think what cost me, like, if you watch that whole first stint, Troy and I were within between 1 to 2 seconds the whole stint. Like, Troy would pull away, but then I'd pull him right back in. And then that safety car, like, cost me. And I wasn't really paying attention to what Troy was doing. If I would have pit for softs on that safety car, I think that I could have stayed with Troy. But, I mean, it is what it is. I'm just glad that, like, throughout the second half of the season, I've really found my form and, like, I'm just throwing this out there for next season. I'm coming, and I'm coming with a vengeance for that chip.
I really hope so because I've been predicting that you're going to get your first win or, or something like that since your Monaco Grand Prix since your pole in Monaco and you've got a lot of potential there as well. And of course, talking about that, I keep bringing up Monaco, but what is your highlight of your season then?
Um, Brazil.
Oh,
That
Brazil.
that that battle like with Welsh, and then that battle with Nigel. That was just so like it was so exhilarating to like nobody took damage, nobody spun out. Like it was such a clean, fun battle. And then I had the like I did in Zandvoort. I had the wreck, but I mean it was still a lot of fun.
And it's been a lot of fun watching you as well, TK. Fantastic stuff. So Troy is now going up into gold next season and looking forward to that. Have we got anyone else in the commentary box? Is it just two? Speaking for every hold your piece. Nope, that's good. Right then, so Troy is going up into gold next season. Looking forward to seeing what he can do then, mixing up with Gurman, with Nigel, and of course with Emerson as well for next season. TK there is coming with vengeance for next season in silver for season 4, which starts off in Bahrain tomorrow night. We have got bronze, and then we got cobalt to finish off the adventure of ALR on F1 2020. See you tomorrow night, 7:30. Emerson and Ayrton will be taking you through the action. Goodbye.